50%.
All right, I'll just call you middleman then.
Just call him shitlocks.
Oh, Jesus Lord, man.
Hey, that was a jab all done in love.
I know. That's why I giggled.
If you a little of testosterone-filled pushback, then you on the wrong show, fool.
I'll tell you what, man. Nah, it's my thing with him is I feel like it was a complete his whole content caters to a fan base that doesn't realize because they're too dumb to realize that like he's not an American. That's the thing that gets me. It's like the people that are like, "Oh, you can't handle this guy. Listen to his hot take," and you're like, "That's not even an American. He just looks similar to you, stupid."
First off, all of Tom McDonald's songs are all starting to be repetitive now at this point.
Yeah.
He's basically rapping the same thing over and over and over again. Secondly, there's only maybe a handful, and I'm talking like 3 or 4 decent fucking tracks that he's got. And the one that's the best is that No Apologies, where there's absolutely no chorus in it all, and it's just him going in for 8 minutes. All right?
I think he's talented. I just find it funny.
He's got those corny ass chorus hooks that like Fresh Prince, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince and Kid and Play used to do back in the day,
man. Maybe that's who he studied,
bro. I mean,
everything's got to be all gangster rap and this, that, and the other, but it doesn't have to be the same repetitive thing over and over again to where it sounds like you're just recycling the same garbage as last time.
Hold up, let me. I got something for y'all. Hold up a second.
Me personally, if you want 2 rap artists that are decent that I like Mises, I like Burden. There's also Kid from out of Flint,
Is this y'all's king? Is this y'all's king right here, bro? I just want to know.
Nah.
I don't know if you're talking about kings or nothing like that. I don't know if we had kings.
Hey, bro, like I mean,
he's someone that is pointing out the hypocrisy of what's going on. He's at least talking about it and getting eyeballs in the
Tom
issue.
McDonald's a king, bro. Like people follow
us Caucasians over here, man. We don't sit and do that whole kings and queens shit.
Oh, bro, yeah, you do. The rich ones.
Shut the fuck up.
Bro, I know a dude who is very wealthy that be telling everybody his wife is his queen.
Sorry, Bumpkin. I didn't mean to throw you in there because you're going to
get bro. You being rude, Bumpkin roasted.
I actually was thinking about fucking Be Brave and Think, and I confused you with him, man. So I dude, you can say whatever you want at this point.
That's insulting as fuck, bro.
You
put a mask on your face, and
I understand any shitty ass comment or slander you throw my way. It's well deserved.
What did he say? I completely missed.
He said he confused you with Be Brave and Think.
Well, I mean, we're both white, so
that's rude.
Damn, you took it a whole lot better than what I thought you did, man. Kudos to you.
Rude.
I actually like Be Brave and Think because he just said what the hell is on his mind.
Dude, I think he was a horrible representation of what white America is.
He is, he's not he's a good representation of a 65-year-old American. You know, like
he reminds me of a ruthless prick, racist fucking father.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, he reminds me of my racist uncles. That's why I kind of like him, you know?
I mean, my dad's so racist, he called his mixed grandkids nigglets.
Oh, jeez.
Hold on. Hey, you actually know that's like a real term? That's a real term?
Yeah.
So he was trying to be accurate? Like, what are we talking about?
I don't know what the fuck he was trying to do. I can't believe that I actually got nigglets as fucking grandkids. This is crazy. I was like, dude, those are your fucking grandkids. What's wrong with you?
He said, gather up the nigglets. It's Christmas. Let's go. Bro, your dad's
picking eggs.
This is all coming from the same man that would sit out on the fucking front porch and nothing but his fucking BVD, smoking a cigarette, looking like we're watching high school girls on the fucking track team run by the house.
With his mask on.
Like, bro, he was really about that life.
Sorry,
dude. You've heard me go talk multiple times on my dad. I can't stand the motherfucker.
Bro, your dad's a wild dude.
Dude, my dad. Look, the only good thing my dad ever did for me is show me what you're not supposed to do as a man, as a human being, as a father, and as a husband.
Oof. He gave you all the don't do thises.
Yeah, dude, all I got to do is the exact opposite of everything he did, and I'm good.
To be quite honest, there's the angry snowman and everyone. Anytime someone tries to give me advice of like, don't do this, stay away from that, is like as though they think it's bad, but at the same time, do they know what I like personally? Hell no. It's just, I hate the whole don't do this or stay away from that kind of scenario. Because what if I, like, let's say, am interested in a black woman, which I am, as of this moment, as you heard me talk about DR on Chaotic Truth's channel a few days ago. But some people are trying, specifically that Ivan man is trying to advise me of staying away from her, all because what? She's a tad overweight. Weight isn't my problem or anything. And I don't really have no like deal breakers as Ivan probably does, which it really makes it harder on him finding a relationship versus someone of my statute who is just looking for a woman who's energetic, funny, entertaining, enthusiastic, and enjoyable, and is willing to create love with each other and make a long-lasting relationship kind of scenario. And I am happy with who I am, but does it give, like, let's say Ivan, or like, let's say if my father was to find out about my relationship with this woman, would it be okay for them to try to advise me to stay away from her because of who she is? Hell no. I'll continue making communications with her and all that, and making things possible between us. But whatever people try to advise me of, I just ignore the shit out of it.
You know what, Angel? I'm just going to say this. Your qualifications for a woman is like a fucking grocery list. Good luck finding her.
Did he give a grocery list? I think he said like 3 things. He just made very long sentences. At least
a fucking half dozen or more.
There was not a half dozen or more. He said he wanted her to be excited, to be fun.
I'm just giving you
and
shit.
He didn't care if she was overweight.
Sounded like the woman's fucking idea that never ends of what she wants out of a man.
Bruh, I'll tell you what, bro. Y'all better leave him alone. He protects
I like Angel. He's a good dude. I just giving him shit.
Yeah, the man knows what he wants, and he said he goddamn it, he don't get it. He don't care what his dad thinks. let him rock out.
Ivan thinks who tried to advise me a few days ago as SDR knows.
Hold on. Murder says he wants some black pussy. That's what he said.
Thank you.
Yes, Murder, I love you, dude.
Oh god!
I think the other dude was jealous. That's why he was trying to get you to outplay your hand.
Murder was sitting there confused, like, did he just describe a black queen?
Bruh. No, see, that's what Daryl would say if he was over here. He'd be like, "Oh, Angel trying to smash God." That's what Daryl would say. 100%.
Wow.
Someone's going to the fiery pit. Well,
bro, hey, that's where all the cool people are. You know what's going to be funny, Bumpkin, is after this is over and we're all dead and gone and we've actually log out of this shit and find out it was a game. This is going to be so anticlimactic. I'm going to be so upset.
That was fucking crazy.
Bro, like, for real. And then we're going to have to, like, God, are we going to be friends in the actual world?
Probably not. We probably hate each other. This is a fucking science experiment.
Dude, we're probably well, no, I think that's what happens. It's like, however much white or black you are, like, if you're black, that means you was racist. And if you're super white, that means you was black. And then everyone in the middle has different levels of prejudice, and like they put you in here, and this is punishment.
Are you saying all gingers used to be racist black people?
Hell yeah, they're gonna wake up and they're just gonna be like, "Fuck!"
I'm black. All the black guys gonna wake up and they're like, "Ah, shit, I'm white, no.
Dude, for real." And then like all of us in the middle are just gonna be like varying degrees of mixed and the opposite of what we currently are.
No, I just can't wait to get up in the morning and premise your thought to the wife, man, and say, hey, do you know that there's people that theorize that the reason why you're a pasty white redhead with an attitude and angry and short is because you were a racist, 6 foot tall, angry black man in your previous life?
No. She's just a black woman with an infinity wig.
You don't sex.
Look at Bumpkin's face. Bumpkin left the room. Now that in and of itself is an accomplishment, bro. He left the whole ass chair.
He's like, fuck this, I'm out. I want out of this car ride. This isn't what I signed for.
Bumpkin went to go inform the moderators of all this fuckery, dude.
He's like, let me get a push.
I don't think this is legal.
Chapter 17.
He's reading the instructions, bro.
In here, there's a penalty flag for this shit. You guys are
I was waiting for this moment.
He's like, yep, you're logging out.
Log out.
Log out now.
You got too close.
Are you Agent Smith?
Huh?
Are you Agent Smith?
No.
We'll be like, Bumpkin's like, you haven't learned your lesson yet.
And the book is for my legionaries.
Oh, nice.
I'm impressed. I didn't know you knew how to read.
Oh! If I can't show you my bookshelf, but I have a bookshelf. Don't worry.
Oh, dude, I love bookshelves.
I have a bookcase. It's right behind me.
That's what I kind of I could be honest with you guys right now. I have not read many books, but what I usually do is I read like peer-reviewed articles and like encyclopedias.
Hold on.
Back in the day, I was big on encyclopedias and stuff.
I agree with B-Rad. B-Rad said that Bumpkin would kill himself if he found out he was black.
Bro, if we're logged into a game, when you come out, you're just going to be like, whoa, that was crazy.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Okay, here's how I look at this shit. All right, I'm gonna be real honest here. Okay, I'm gonna be absolutely honest 110%, right? You do not get to pick your genetics at birth.
No shit.
You cannot.
Thank you, Bumpkin.
You cannot hate yourself for what you are. All right.
That's some of the realest shit.
It leads to nihilism. It leads to self-hatred. It leads to nihilism. It leads to you hating everyone around you.
It leads to school shooters, motherfuckers.
And you just can't do it, right? I'm not gonna hate my skin because I'm white, right? I'm gonna love my culture and I'm going to carry on. Just like blacks, you can't hate yourself because of your skin. Now, if you think you have to act a certain way and all of that because of your skin, that's a completely different story.
You gotta stay on code, man.
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. Speaking of that, has anybody noticed? So, like, once you join the letter mafia, if you're a white dude, you become a sassy black woman, like somebody's sassy black grandma.
Yeah.
Where does that come from? You'll see dudes that you knew your whole life, and then they just be like, "Girl," like, where did this come from? Like, I used to know, like, I've talked to you before. They're like, I'm out the closet now. Like, did that come with it? Like,
it's because that's how they think women act. It's mimicry.
Oh God,
yeah,
it's so weird.
They're trying to
weird. Very bad job of it.
They're doing a very bad job of it.
I mean,
it's like they could never get a black girl, so they turned into one.
Well, have you ever noticed that when it comes to like the Decepticon community, that you have the trans women are the trans women are the ones that are the most outspoken. You never see trans men out there on the forefront, which I find that an interesting thing going on.
Well, I've actually had that conversation.
So you mean male to female?
No, I mean female.
No,
to
female to male.
Female to male.
Well, that was actually that. Okay, I'm so happy you just brought that up because that's what actually just happened to Target. That was the designer was a Decepticon, female to male, designing all those kids' clothes.
Yeah, I actually covered that on my earlier live stream.
Well,
I even covered the demonic imagery that was on his clothes that they were trying
to. I can't believe they were selling that in Target. I've never liked Target because of
you don't like Target. It's fancy Walmart where everyone has all their teeth.
Well, no, it's because years ago I looked into imagery and stuff like that, and symbolism, and the Target kind of represents something. I can't remember exactly what it is. I don't even want to go back down that rabbit hole, so I'm not even trying to look it up. But that whole white Target with the red background actually represents something, and I've always stayed away from it because of that. And then I saw that they're selling devil heads that say the devil respects pronouns. What? Yeah. What world am I living in?
But listen. Wait a second. Hold on, Rock. Are you surprised that a movement that is inherently evil, being by definition evil, they do not want to improve or talk about any type of concept that improves society? They just want to tear things down. Would want imagery that says the devil respects pronouns, considering they themselves are also evil.
Well, come on. They're supposed to be all inclusive.
Has anyone here read the Bible?
I've always known they were evil.
Has anyone here read the Bible?
Yeah, a couple times.
Do you know what demons refer themselves as?
Angels.
They, them.
Oh, shit. Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I never thought about that.
Yeah, I never thought about that neither. Dude,
damn, so that's even more grand than my assessment.
Bro.
Yeah. So
I've been telling people for years. I've been telling people for years. This isn't a political issue non-binary that I've been telling people. Listen, I've been telling. Do you ever seen anybody on Flocka or some kind of like really extreme drugs? It looks like they're possessed. Like they don't have control of their body. When they're walking down the road, they are defying the laws of physics by being able to bend over backwards at 90 degrees and still somehow walk. Like this doesn't make any sense. But I've always told people that this is a war of good versus evil. And
it's spiritual.
I was kind of surprised by the devil head because that's them just coming out just like, hey, we're gonna sell devil heads in Target. What?
Nothing surprises me anymore.
That got me. That got me.
Because I've known this is a spiritual battle for a long time.
So have I.
Nothing, because listen, they don't want Christians around. Okay, listen. I understand not everyone here is Christian. I understand that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when when all of our enemies are saying specifically we don't want Christians around, that is saying something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't. It's not necessarily that I'm like I like religious history. Like I went down a rabbit hole on that. I love that the concept of it, and I believe in it in the sense that it's a universal truth. You can swap out the effigies if you made the story and you made it the Banana King and you put it and you just replace Jesus with Banana King. It would still make sense from a universal perspective, which is how most religions are based. The validity of the religion in and of itself is that those stories have been told since the beginning of our existence on this planet as beings that have been able to leave anything. So it doesn't discredit the Bible for me to go, I don't believe in Jesus. Like that God doesn't look like me. I don't believe in that. But I can go, well, from a universal perspective and the way that this was made, those stories were meant to be adapted by the people groups that they were given to, which is the same reason you have the same story for Krishna. You have the same story for Horus. You have the same story. Like these stories have been retold. And to me, I go, why? How has this been around for forever? And it's because you can't break a universal law. You can break yourself against it. But if you go against universal principle, shit don't work right. And we were left instructions.
That's fair. And I would like to say, listen, I'm not trying to turn you to a Christian.
No.
That's not my game. But I will say this, right? You look at every major religion, right?
Mhm.
Even away from Abrahamic religions, they all give credence to Jesus Christ. Every single one of them. Buddhism say he existed, say he was a great teacher. They actually claim that he was a Buddha. That's what they claim.
Yeah.
They claim that he was a Buddha. Even Islam,
got the yogis that say that he practiced yoga and shit.
Even Islam says that Jesus was a prophet.
Yeah. But the reason being is because these all stemmed from the same source. Like the original source material. So like if I came and I gave you some instructions and I was like, hey, like this is how you need to navigate to exist amongst yourselves, because like humans, we're stupid. Like we need religion. Like we're dumb. You take Bedlam, we end up where we're gearing towards now, and do what thou wilt comes in. And like when we do what we want to do with no guidelines and no rails, it doesn't go well.
Look, the Bible.
But like if you take this and it's spiders and
that's
well,
why
no,
they're
but what I'm
going
saying,
after the structure.
100%. Because if you take that source material though, and it goes forward and it branches out, and it's like you have these people groups that never had contact during the time period that these stories were proliferating, but they have the same story.
Well, see, I have another.
You know what I'm saying? Like
theory to that though. Rather than that, I think that honestly, the reason why you have that, if you are a Christian or a person of faith, so to speak, you have some kind of spirituality that you follow.
Mm-hmm.
I think that plays into the whole Tower of Babel story as to why you have so many different religions and ancient religions specifically that tell, it seems like, the same 5 major stories in all of their texts.
Yep.
And I think it's because if you look at the story of Babel, it was everybody was sent off to the different corners of the earth speaking different tongues, and they were trying to re-speak and put back out there in their new tongue the old stories that they were all being taught when they were all one culture of people.
Yeah, but I mean, like even if you look through the Crusades, like St. Thomas Aquinas was documented showing up on islands being like, yeah, these are the same gods that you have. We just need you to use our names. We believe the same thing.
I mean, I don't know how familiar you are with Norse mythology, but if you look at like the mythology of Ragnarok and the stuff that they talk about in Revelations is eerily similar.
Yeah. Hold up. B-Rad had a question. The question for the panel: how do y'all take the saying "equally yoked"? I look at this as same religion and view, but people use it as different meanings. For me personally, I look at it as people who are of the same value set.
Yeah, you got to look at it as like 2 oxen being yoked to the same wagon. You know, in order for it to be a steady, nice, smooth ride, they have to be equally yoked together. If one is yoked to that wagon a little off than the other, then you're going to have an off-center bumpy ride.
I've never heard that. Do I believe in the existence of God overall, or do you believe that God is within you before anything else? I believe in the overall existence of God. Do I think God is within you? Sure, yeah. But I believe in the overall existence of God.
Nice, good answer.
I'm not really. Bumpkin, let me ask you this: are you a proponent of this New Age shit? And I don't know if it's necessarily New Age. It might be a reoccurring thing that happens over, mankind's time on Earth, that we all have the ability to be God because God made us in His image, so we are all gods in essence. Do you buy into that?
No, that shit's blasphemy.
See, that's how I feel about it too.
No, you can't.
Yeah,
you can't
that's
be.
not right.
You can't be. You can't be a god. You can't be God. Can you walk?
We're God over the living creatures of the earth, and that's it.
Yeah, I think that we're going to have some change in perspective on that from a scientific perspective once they start popping people outside of women's bodies.
Listen, here's the thing, right? So I do a weird blending, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do a very weird blending when it comes to my Christianity because I also like Nietzsche. I also like the idea of the overman, and I do get called a blasphemous Christian when I start going into these, not really theories, but I call them absolute truths, right? So the idea of Christianity and the idea of sin and constantly struggling against sin, right?
Mm-hmm.
This directly feeds into Nietzsche's idea of a constant struggle, right? God presents you with these sins so you can either overcome them and choose correctly, or you fold and succumb to them.
Mm.
So God in the essence is trying to build trying to allow you to build yourself as the best possible person that you can be, right? That is that constant struggle between sin and not sinning, right? And Satan or the devil or the world around us is trying to have you succumb to these, hedonism and all of these sins around you. So the more that you conquer every struggle, the more that you move away from sin, and the more that you do that, you become almost like an overman, right? You're not more than God. Don't get me wrong, but after you've conquered everything, every inner battle and demon that you have, and you're prepared for anything that life throws at you. I mean, are you better than that person that has succumbed to every single sin? I would say yes. I would say absolutely you are. So, and I get called blasphemous because people say that, Nietzsche said God is dead. Nietzsche said God is dead, but Nietzsche said we killed God. He never denied the existence of God. I hate nihilists with a passion. They turned someone like Nietzsche, right, which is saying that the human race has killed God, and they took that and turned it into nihilism and corrupted it.
Is that where that movie God is Dead came from?
I don't know. I don't know if they take anything from Nietzsche there. I don't know.
I never understood that whole, like, why did they even come out with a movie saying that? Like, I just don't understand. Like, I never watched it, which I guess
because
that's
Hollywood is
arrogance.
Luciferian, dude. That's why they're Luciferian and they're evil.
They're evil. They're absolutely evil.
Hold on, but still, like, the number one thing the devil wants to do is trick people into believing that he's not real. So why would he be coming out and saying, "Hey, God this and God that," and God's not real?
What's the easiest way to convince people that the devil ain't real? To first convince you that God never existed.
Also true.
At the same time, they're coming out with award shows with, in devil costumes, and they're walking down the red carpet and devil horns.
Well, this is the thing. People inherently want to believe something. So it's kind of like when you break this down, the way that people's perspectives work, like we'll disavow and want to crush things and throw all of it out. So like when I was going down my rabbit hole, like the reason that I am not a religious person is I believe that evolutionarily speaking, after a certain point, you do not need religion after you get your shit sorted out. And like you go down that rabbit hole. I used to be very religious because, and I, in all honesty, it's because like I did a bunch of like fucked up stuff. Like I had to be able to get some way to get the discipline to control myself. I needed to be able to control my anger. I needed to be able to control my rage. I needed to be able to control my wrath. Those were my issues. And so in doing that, going down that journey, like I was always in trouble, but like religion was that one thing where it was like, hey, like I know I shouldn't be doing this. The rails, like I could go into those spaces. It was a space where I was safe. It was a space where even if it wasn't the best pouring in, like I could have people pour into me that kind of like could feed some sort of context to like make sense of the darkness that I was going through.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as I got into high school, so like the other thing was like I was very like when I was going through school, they like wanted to tell me that I was learning disabled because like I was a shitty reader. The reality of it is the way my brain works, I can't read fiction at all. Period. Like I can't remember the page at the bottom of the page. Like my brain's kicked that shit out, and it doesn't make sense to me. Nonfiction though, I keep it forever. Basically. So like anything that I read that's of nonfiction, I can remember all of it. Like the only fiction books that I've ever read are Animal Farm in 1984 that had any type of context, because I was able to frame it into a situation where I was like, I'm reading this because it has a corollary to the real world. And that was the only thing that like made it stick any. But like once I learned that I could read and retain information, it was just I couldn't read fiction books. Like I dove into religious history because at the time I was in Catholic school, and so I dived into that. And going through that was where I realized that like I was like, I understand the purpose that religion serves. I understand the principles that they're founded on. So like I can go into a church and rock out in a church and have a great time because like I understand it. Normally I'll end up with the pastor having a conversation. I'm not going to want to talk to people that like don't actually know about it at a high level, but I can go there and I can enjoy it. I can enjoy a great sermon. I can enjoy being around a good church group. But
I can't get down with church anymore, dude, because churches.
I like going to all churches. I think they're super interesting. If you go to a place where like the pastor is,
I hate all those
more than a motivational speakers.
Well, okay, so those aren't churches. I don't believe that those are church. God doesn't exist in those places, in my opinion.
So Protestant churches.
What do you think about the whole, kind of
I don't believe in the whole mega church where you show up and they're just constantly about your money, and the pastor gets up there and talking about how when they had the couples retreat, it was good to come down to your level, even though you put him at the level that he's at, because he's using your tithe money to live his existence. Like, no, God doesn't exist there.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you what, I would not, and not even 1 ounce of me wants to would want to deal with the wrath that people like Kenneth Copeland are going to have to deal with when he has to meet his maker.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because I don't describe that.
That was the craziest.
That man has become a billionaire off of preaching. If you want my opinion, mis teaching the teachings of the Bible, and dude, if you look at that man's got the eyes of a demon.
But I mean, 100%. But I mean, if you want to get technical about it, it said in the Bible that this was going to happen. Absolutely. It said that they were going to set up a false church. The issue is we've been under false church for a long fucking time.
Dude, the shit
post council of Nicaea. I'm just saying, post council of Nicaea, all churches are false, in my opinion. If you actually get down to the bricks of like what that passage meant and what the council of Nicaea did, all churches are false.
So even Catholics,
100%. It's their fault. It's their
the ones that go to church.
Actually, still practice paganism.
Well, it's not just that, but like,
hold on. It's like a lot of this, religion is kind of based off of doing the same thing on like the correct time scale, right?
Right.
Like Muslims, they gotta pray at a certain time. They gotta face a certain direction. Christians need to go to church on, what is supposed to be the last day of the week.
Saturday. It's supposed to be Saturday, not
Sunday.
Sunday.
Exactly. That's my whole thing is like, why are these people going to church on Sunday, which is the first day of the week? Like, that's one of the reasons I don't really go to church. I'm actually going to find one maybe.
I can explain it if you want me to.
Do what?
I can explain why the Sunday thing if you really want me to.
Because the Catholics changed it.
Do you know why? Why the Catholics changed it?
It was more convenient from what I remember.
No, because what is Christianity in its heart, right? Christianity comes from the Old Testament, right? Jesus came, he is the prophet, if you believe that, or he is the Son of God, I should say.
That's New Testament.
Yes. But Jesus, okay, Old Testament, right? And while the Old Testament was the rule of the church, which was Judaism at that time, right? Mm-hmm. Jesus came, Son of God, said, "All right, we need to make a new book. We need to rewrite this." It was a rejection of Judaism, right? It was a revelation of its own, right? Son of God coming down saying, "You guys are teaching false things. We can't do this anymore," right? It was a rejection of that. Do you know when most Do you know when I don't like to use the term Jews, but do you know when most Jews go to synagogue? Saturday.
Yeah, they do. Then they walk.
So Christianity in its essence is a rejection of Judaism. It is Christianity is saying that you guys are teaching false things onto God. Okay.
But at the same time, didn't God say to take the Sabbath and keep it holy? That's so true. Isn't it blasphemy to take the holy day that we're supposed to keep Sabbath and change it for our own whimsical needs?
Oof, good point.
That is a good point. That is a good point. But in the grand scheme of things, I just look at it like it being a rejection of Judaism. This is why I get so pissed off with these evangelicals that say stuff like what is the term Judeo-Christian values, right? That's an oxymoron. There are no Judeo-Christian values. You can't put those two things together. One is a rejection of the other. I hate evangelists, man. Evangelicals are by far. I would do a crusade. I'm going to be honest with you.
He said he go crusade, bro.
I would do a crusade on evangelicals. I'm not even lying. I'm being 100%.
That's nice. I was saying he would genocide the shit out of them.
Listen, man.
Bumpkin is sick of y'all dancing in front of the camera and asking for money.
Not even that.
He's tired of you.
They're blasphemy. They're blasphemers.
The evangelicals, bro.
Do you know why they support Israel so much?
Too, man.
Do you know why they support Israel, the state of Israel, so much? Right, they are trying to bring upon the apocalypse. They are trying.
I was in a Church of God for a few years, and that's like the most extreme Christian you can get because
you say Reese's name and he appears,
bro.
Who the hell's Reese?
Reese is our friend. He apparently fucks everybody's wife, but like I didn't know he changed his picture to a thirst trap. So now we know why he's fucking everyone's wife.
Yeah, man, he does it with the utmost respect and care.
Hey, and Reese, it's only the guys who are actively cheating and like being a dick about it.
Oh,
he fucks their wives specifically. So it's kind of like a revenge fucking.
Mm-hmm. So basically, he's doing the Lord's work for all of us men.
Facts, and actually, he's more or less like a toxic Avenger, if you would. You know, I mean, thank you. See there, that's what I wanted, Bumpkin. That's what I wanted.
Have you read For My Legionaries?
For My Legionaries? No, I have not. I'm gonna write it down though, and I'm gonna get it. Is it in audiobook form?
It is in audiobook form. You should be able to find it in audiobook. I have a PDF for it too if you want that. You can also.
Oh shit! Send it over. Send it over, bro.
I'll send it over to your email.
I like reading stuff.
Yeah. But no, Kadrianu, right?
Mm-hmm.
Leader of the Iron Guard. He's the martyr during the 20th century that no one knows about. His government to get this man to stop with his quote unquote revolution. His government, the Romanian government, put this man through so much turmoil. It's ridiculous, man. He was put into jail for no reason like 20 times. And eventually they dragged him into a dirty basement and tortured him and killed him.
Dang.
Like this dude was like a devout Orthodox Christian. Like an absolutely devout Orthodox Christian.
And everybody hated him.
Happen all the time.
No, the people. No. Here's the thing, right? The people loved him. The Romanian people absolutely loved him.
Oh, really?
Yes, the Romanian people absolutely loved him. What he was doing, all of that. He was a young kid. He started out as a young kid in college. I can give you a little backstory. I don't want to like ruin the book for you, but this is all historical fact. By the way, actually happened. Historical fact, and this is like his memoir. This is like the book he wrote to all of his legionaries, all the people that were in his like political group.
Yeah,
given his life story.
Dang, dude. Okay, that sounds real interesting. I'm in on that.
Speaking of, since we were talking about the whole religion thing and God and whatnot, have any of you guys heard about the supposed young rabbi that has come to light in Jerusalem or wherever the fuck it is over there that they all congregate and that they're claiming is the Messiah?
Bruh.
I'm dead serious, dude. Dead fucking serious.
A single rabbi is saying that he's the Messiah?
No, the head rabbis of the Jewish religion are claiming that he is the Messiah.
Who?
Well, you
Google it, dude, and you'll pull it up, and it's this very young kid that's probably like between the ages of 18 and 21 at best, I believe. And this guy is quoting basically Torah scripture from memory, like he's been reading this shit for the last 50 years.
Oh, wow.
Dude, what? How old is he?
He's young. He's in his 20s yet, I believe.
Nah, get out of here. You can
well, so check this out. Messiah is born, claims or not. Oh, jeez. So, anyways, so I wouldn't even doubt this but the thing that I was going to point out was I was like the head rabbis that are currently in power have completely disenfranchised the genetic line that were the highest order of rabbis within their religion because they will not allow them to return to the homeland from Africa. They only want white people. And they've done the DNA tests and they're just like, no, we don't want you here.
The interesting,
you know what that is.
And I'm not saying it's because they're black, but I'm just saying they've disenfranchised those people and they have made those people have the genetic tie to the people that were in charge, and they proved it.
That's a false prophet.
Hold on. So are you telling me that the darkies built the pyramids?
I mean, I'm just going to say, if you're working out in the sun all day, I know about this thing called cancer, and there's certain people that don't get it on their skin, and then there's certain people that do when exposed to extreme sunlight all day.
The thing is, Ray, even with that, even white people, like I got myself to where I was conditioned to be out in the sun, and it never bothered me because I was so much.
But the point that I'm saying is this. When you go and do the DNA test, that'd be like if I went back to Egypt and I was like, you guys should show me some fucking respect. And they're going to be like, no, we don't. And I'm like, genetically, I'm an heir of the people who ran this shit. Fuck you. Like, if you're going by like, hey, this is our birthright and this is our genetics. And then they're like, oh, what about these people who are also you? They're not us. They're lying. Well, we ran their DNA. Matter of fact, this goes to the highest order of your people. We don't want them to come back here. False church. I'm just saying.
Bumpkin's ears are turning after reading that. I'm curious what he's thinking.
Okay, listen. How spicy?
We getting on a plane, Bumpkin? I got your back, dude.
How spicy can I get here? That's my question.
I mean, this is second run. Get as spicy as you want. The main show's already done. So,
okay. So the reason why they don't want those gentlemen to come back is because they are black. All right. If you didn't know, the state of Israel is ran by Ashkenazi Jews. And by the way, Jews are not white.
Yeah, the Semitic means brown or bronze.
Yes, but Jews are not white. They're genetically not European. Okay. The only thing that separates the Ashkenazis from other Jews is that they purposely interbred with Europeans.
Yeah, they were actually part of another country that was actually, I forget the name of the country, but they were actually afraid of falling into war with either was it the Muslims and the Jews or one or the other? So
it was the Muslims and the Christians.
Right. So they chose to claim to be Jewish because both the Christians and the Muslims accepted them.
I'm gonna go ahead and share this tab. So like these are the gentlemen who were part of that deal where they were asking to be accepted back into Israel because they keep doing those floods for the Jewish people in America to go back there to take up space. These are the Nigerians, but there was a specific tribe that is very, very devout. And like they were like, hey, we submitted information, and they told them no. So then another guy went and did a research on it and was like, well, let me run your genes. Like, give me some samples. and we're going to figure out if you're lying, because that's what the people in Israel said. They said they're lying. They live in a third world country and they want to come take our resources. And when he ran their DNA, greedy. Right. Well, no, it's not. It's not that. It's the reality of what happened was there was a power struggle, and these people who had left and got put out were the people who were of the highest order. And this happens in religions all the time. I've seen it happen in multiple churches. They make a covenant. We're going to do this, this, and this. And then when they get what they want to get lax. They don't want to do that anymore. And then the people who hold them accountable and go, hey, this was the covenant we made to get this, this, and this. They'll ostracize those people.
Well, you know, it's an Ethiopian sect of Christians that actually claim to have the Ark of the Covenant.
Right. Well, I mean, the Ethiopians, they have a bunch of, like, if you look at them religion, like the Ethiopian Bible, like the original Bible that they burned all of them except for like a couple, I guess. They were all in Ethiopia. The one with that included the Book of Enoch, which is considered a heretical text now, even though it was in the original Bible. They have that there too. So, like, I wouldn't be surprised, but I know for a fact that this dude ran. I don't know if it was the Nigerian Jews or the Ethiopian Jews, but like, they did like a whole documentary on it where he ran their DNA and was like, no, this goes back to this group of people, and these people were the highest order of leadership within these tribes.
They were descendants of Moses himself.
That's all. I'm just like, I think that's really interesting that. But also with what Bumpkin said, that they're trying to usher in the apocalypse, like that sounds like some pretty apocalyptic stuff that they're trying to pull right now, since they got what they wanted.
They're trying to, but they're not going to. You know why? Because that's not how God's will works. Okay,
right?
It's already written.
You cannot manufacture. It's the Bible is not a. Okay, he has the final say. The Bible is not a blueprint on how to bring about the apocalypse. You don't get a say in that. You don't get.
No, it's like the cliff notes of what's going to happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and Revelations itself is nothing more than, you know, John having the future revealed to him of how all this is going. Was it John or Paul that it was John that got the revelation, correct?
Yeah.
You know, that's like what's the word apocalypse actually really mean? Because it doesn't mean to bring to an end. As we were taught, I believe that it actually has a different definition.
I'm drawing a mulligan on that, but it's like super.
I think it's like a large, basically, event that is a conclusion of something, if I remember correctly.
Essentially, if anyone remembers the YouTube adpocalypse a long time ago, that's essentially like what it is of a scenario that, as you said, has a conclusion in the end there.
Okay.
I just look, man. I've been, for some reason, there's a part of me that's felt this sometime here in the very foreseeable future that the major powers that be that run the world are going to try and pull off this fake second coming of sorts, or fake invasion to bring on the second coming of some sort. You know, and look, dude, it ties into what do you think about this whole deal with members of the Senate being issued satellite phones the last couple days out of nowhere?
What?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
If you will, I'm going to share my screen here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, pull that up.
Yeah, and when they were first issued to them, only the article said that only about half of them took them, and the other half chose not to.
Hold up, I'm going to make this big so that Bumpkin can explain what we're
all right. Here. So this, listen, I don't like the state of Israel, and the majority of the world agrees with me.
Why the fuck is America in China?
Oh no, okay. So this is most disliked country in each nation, right? So America does not like China. Canada does not like China, right? Russia doesn't like America, right?
Oh, okay, I got you.
You know, all of these guys here, this is in 2020. This is in 2022. Obviously, Europe hates Russia right now. Mexico hates Russia for some reason. But listen, all right. So you know what this star is right here? This is the state of Israel. David. This is Israel, right? The state of Israel. So so it's almost like a blast zone, okay? It's almost like a radius zone.
How is it that almost the entire country of Africa and the Middle East all combined, the cradle of life, hates Jews?
Listen, man. It's a little country like right here, right? Little country like right here, and all the way down here, they hate them. All the way down over here, they hate them. It's not all the way up here they hate them. It's just they do so. The state of Israel, all right, if we're talking about war crimes, if we're talking about the terrible shit they do, it's unmatched. It's unmatched, man. They're a terrible state. I hate the state of Israel. I can't stand the state of Israel. And it's not even because they're Jews. It's just the shit that they do, man. They've been known in the past, right? They're the military police over there were wearing t-shirts joking about killing a pregnant Muslim woman and calling it a 2-for-1. Okay. We're talking about they've been known to use white phosphorus bombs. They are the
on people. You're only supposed to use those on vehicles.
Yes, they've been known.
You can use it on vehicles with people around the vehicle, but like it's meant for vehicles.
They've been throwing white phosphorus bombs into disrupt the protests.
Oh Jesus!
We're talking, and no one questions them. You know why no one questions them?
Because they're God's chosen people.
Because apparently they're God's chosen people. But you know why else no one questions them? Because America is in their fucking corner every step of the way.
And that's why I don't trust Trump.
And that's why I definitely don't trust DeSantis either.
Dang.
Jared Kushner is an Ashkenazi Jew.
I think the whole reason. Hold on. I think the whole reason that we're so like politically connected to them is because the whole persona of America, right? Like we're all about basically religious freedom and you know.
But are we really?
No, we're not. No. Wait, Rock. I'm going to stop you right there because you can't be in support of somebody who just showed up on somebody else's land that was already living there and just started recruiting people to come take up space and then started killing the people that were already there. The way that we talk about this, the way that we talk about the state of Israel, they were not there originally. The Palestinians were everywhere on that land. And then after the war, they were given a nugget of land and they said, cool, we just need everyone to come live here. And then they just kept taking up space. And then they started killing those people. And that's the facts.
If you look throughout the history of these people that we're talking about in question, they have literally been kicked out of over 100 different countries throughout the course of history.
Yeah, and that's why we was like, well, we're gonna create this state of Israel, and then you know, like
but it was in someone else's land. And what if I came to your house? What if I came to your house and I was like, hey, I'm going to live in your attic. And then I invited Bumpkin over. And then I invited Snowman over. And I was like, hey, you guys should invite your whole families. So now we're on the second floor. And then we get into the point to where you're on the porch. And then we start throwing rocks at you at your house.
Well, to make it more, to give it more clarity, it's kind of like the illegal alien invasion we have right now that's surging these sanctuary cities. And it's actually disproportionately affecting the black community.
100%. Because not only, but the difference is the Palestinian government did not go, hey, we're going to give money to give these people houses. They were like, what the hell are you doing the whole time? And everyone was just like, hey, you guys are dicks for not wanting these people in your house.
Hey, share my screen, Ray.
Got you. Where you? Oh, okay.
This is what I was telling you about. This is a clip, a news clip.
The Senate Sergeant at Arms, Karen Gibson, has distributed satellite phones to all 100 senators. This move, funded by taxpayers, has attracted both curiosity as well as concern. No less than half of these senators have accepted this offer, leaving us to question why the other half have declined. High-profile figures like lawyer and political commentator Rogan O'Hanley have not shied away from their suspicions. O'Hanley questions if this is a preemptive measure against a planned cyber attack ahead of the 2024 election intended to alter voting procedures in favor of Joe Biden. Similar concerns are echoing across social media platforms, with conservative voices expressing worry over the nature of this disruptive event, as described by Gibson. Adding fuel to the speculation fire, a Twitter user linked the sudden availability of satellite phones to the disappearance of 30 tons of explosives from a train and the U.S. government's acquisition of $290 million worth of anti-radiation medication. Satellite phones are typically used by first responders during emergencies when standard communication channels are unavailable. So does this signal that we're on the precipice of a nationwide emergency? As we face these burning questions, the Department of Homeland Security defines satellite mobile phones as handsets that communicate with landline, cellular, or other satellite phones in most regions of the world. This definition further emphasizes the importance of such devices during a natural disaster or man-made incident, including potential chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, or explosive events. The issuance of these phones has raised many eyebrows, inviting citizens to question the state of our nation's security and preparedness. The Senate Sergeant...
Now, what I want to point out about landlines real quick before we jump into this is if anybody that's got a landline and they think that they're safe from any kind of cyber attack, they're sadly misinformed, because what used to be what we know as landlines don't exist anymore.
Yep.
All landlines are literally connected to the network. If you don't have an internet access at your house, you can't have a landline because it's connected to the internet now.
Facts.
And who did that? Obama.
But the reason why I played that is I was curious. Obviously, you guys haven't heard about it. When I stumbled across that, I think it was last night or the night before. That really kind of piqued my curiosity as to why are they handing out satellite phones to the Senate right now, and what's this fucking network blackout that's supposed to be coming in 2024? Does this have anything to do with that whole Sears thing that they did this mock fucking another event 201 thing on?
Facts. I mean, I when I hear stuff like that, like Bumpkin said, none of this surprises me anymore. But the issue is this system is losing control. Like, they can't stop us from talking. They can't stop us from having conversations like this. They can't make us hate each other because Bumpkin looks different than us, or because Snowman looks different, or because we're different. We're starting to talk because stuff has gotten so bad that regardless of what color your skin is, if you have a mediocre of common sense, you know that this ain't it. This ain't what any of us signed up for. 100% is way off. Like, we need to do a vibe check on the country, because at this point I'm like, we need to get a lot of our government needs to be downsized. We need to have some sort of means of actual representation for the citizens of this country. We got to get some of these people that ain't supposed to be up here. Actually, we need to just get everyone who's here illegally up out of here for a minute. Something as simple as that. If you're not supposed to be here, you got to leave.
We need to put a moratorium on immigrants coming to this country for a while.
Yeah. I mean, America needs time to find herself. That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
Stella needs to get her groove back.
We're supply and demand society. If there's more people here demanding on the supply, the price of it goes up. So,
I mean, it's not even that, because they can't navigate the way that they want. It's just a matter of the stuff that they're bringing in. Like, our immigrant issue has now turned into a liability for our country. We have China that is actively attacking well-to-do white people, which means that that's well-to-do everybody, because once the fentanyl gets into the school, That's everybody who's at that school. That did not start off in a poor black neighborhood. That's not us that did that. The fentanyl that's hold on. Let me finish. The fentanyl that's getting funneled into this country is coming in via our southern border. The people who are paying to manufacture that fentanyl is China.
That's a fact.
They're attacking us at the top. That was not our government. If our government did it, and our government's supposedly so racist, it would have started off in a black neighborhood, and poor black kids would be dying. It's rich white kids that are dying en masse. Like like the things that we're having happen because we have this open border and people think that we need to be fair to the rest of the world at the expense of our own children and our own society is sickening. It's not okay.
Well, like I was going to say too, is I want to make sure that everybody's very clear about the fact that when it comes to the southern border, they're trying to convince you that it's only Mexicans and people from South America that are coming across that border. But it's actually people from all across the fucking globe that are using that border as access into this nation illegally.
They found Chinese nationals. They found Islamic nationals. They found Haitians. They found a bunch of different ethnicities because it's a weak point. I want to bring something back though.
Mm-hmm.
We're just gonna go towards this. The reason why the state of Israel has so much, it has power in the United States. There's no way. You said I can get as spicy as I want. I'm just gonna get as spicy as one.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Joe Biden's cabinet. All right. And I'm gonna read off names, and I'm gonna read off their actual role, right? And these are Jews. All right.
Can I say something really quick?
Yeah, what's up?
On the fentanyl thing, people gotta realize, it is coming through the southern border. There's drug cartels using it for profiting measures. But two things I'll say real quick. The president of the police union in I think Los Angeles County recently got arrested for smuggling in fentanyl for over
100%.
the past, like 5 years. So that's number one. And then number two, enough fentanyl comes into this country to kill everybody in this country every year 10 times over. And what does it stop them to go into a mall or somewhere and put it in a ventilation system, and now everybody's OD'd. And a lot of people don't understand this about fentanyl overdose. It's not I think it's benzodiazepine or whatever. It's not a regular heroin overdose. There's
synthetic opiate is what it is.
Yeah. But the thing is, when you're talking about people smuggling it in, like 100%. There's going to be people smuggling it in. I mean, the cartel has an office on our side of the border that we let them have.
Well, didn't California build where they're allowing illegal immigrants to run for fucking or be hired for police different cities over there now too?
Yeah, they actually hired city workers. Yeah.
Well, the issue that you have though, the issue that you have is our border patrol is more them than us. And the way that these
not allowed to have border control.
We have the border agents. Those used to be Americans,
right?
Like it's more.
Our border control is like heavily depleted at this moment. Really,
right?
Our military, rather than being scattered across the globe in all these other countries, should be sitting and guarding our border.
Facts.
Oh yeah.
But the other issue is what I was getting to was they don't come like when you have an immigrant problem, they don't just come over and do grimy stuff. Like the cartel doesn't function like that. So like one of my coworkers, he worked for T-Mobile before a couple of jobs before he ended up working for me. And he was telling me that like when he worked there, his place got shut down by the feds because they had two guys that got jobs there that were affiliated with the cartel, and they figured out how to make phone numbers and phone lines that traced back to nowhere. There was a process that they had back there that these guys got the jobs, figured out what it was, and just started deploying phones to people who were in the cartel that were actual phones that went back. They were making legit burner phones, except for they're on major carriers. And then the feds got onto them, finally traced them back to that shop, shut the shop down, like came in and like busted those two dudes. But that's how when they infiltrate an area. So like if we have that big of an issue down at the border, you shouldn't be allowed. And I know this is going to sound curt, but we should not allow people of that group to serve as border patrol. Period. Because this is how the cartel functions. They're like, hey, they got people that look like us. The cartels that we have that we're dealing with are decommissioned paramilitary groups. They know how to make a person get dressed up. Not all of them have face tattoos and look like monsters. They look like normal people.
Yeah, they
have a job to do.
They perfected the art of smuggling drugs. I mean, the mules that they use, they will literally willingly turn over 2 or 3 of them just so the rest 7 or 8 that they got can get through the border check without any problems.
Oh yeah, they try to set up my dad. They try to set up my dad. There's like, and they do it to people all the time. Hey, go over here, pick this car up, and drive back. And the people don't realize you gotta drive back, you're gonna get busted because they're gonna snitch on you.
I think Bumpkin's stressed out that he can't make his point about what he was making.
It's fine. We can always come back to.
Go ahead, Bumpkin. My bad.
No, go ahead. We can always come back to what I'm talking about. I actually want to talk about the border now. What I'm saying, I would. Everyone knows my opinion on this. I've said this several times. No immigration. Immigration is faking gay. Boost your birth rates up in your country. And if it wasn't illegal, I would have a paramilitary down on the border right now. But you're not allowed to do that as a citizen. So
that's why Casey Massey was murdered by the federal government, was because he was trying to guard the border.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Damn. Bruh, they said you better let them walk in here.
Our state hates us. They are satanic pedophiles. I'm tired.
Casey Massey started investigating the Child Protective Services in the state of Texas, and it led him to a child sex trafficking ring where they were actually taking kids and transporting them across the border.
That Casey dude's dead?
Casey Massey, yeah, he's been dead.
Wow. Whoa.
You talking about the dude that had he had a child and it was taken away, and because his ex-lady newborn and so on and so forth?
Are you thinking about Casey Anthony?
No,
maybe.
I'm talking about this dude that had a case.
No, I'm talking about a guy who was actually going to war with our government, and specifically the state government of Florida, because he found evidence that the Child Protective Services, CPS, was actually involved in a child sex trafficking ring. So he actually set up a paramilitary group to actually watch the border, and they murdered him, said that he committed suicide.
Yes.
Yeah, I never heard of
that.
Didn't
they say that? Was that the guy that they said committed? Was that the guy that they said deleted himself by shooting himself in the back of the head?
One of them.
Oh, jeez.
One of them.
Oh, man.
Brace yourselves
if I'm gonna
for the doom of the white man.
I'm going to do it like this, and I'm going to shoot myself twice. Twice in the back of the head. It's going to work just like that, boys.
By the way, I would never. And the reason why I bring Casey Massey up is, remember when I introduced you to Barry Croft and Adam Fox? Barry Croft was actually tied to Casey Massey. Him and Casey Massey were actually really good friends, and he was trying to help him. And because of his involvement with Casey Massey, that's why the FBI started having people watch him and put an indictment on him and create that whole Michigan thing.
I'm gonna tell you something real quick about the Child Protective Services, because I was actually in it for a little while. They came to me when they first kind of took me away from the situation I was in. And they came to me and they was like, "Do you want to be adopted? Why in the hell would they ask a kid that has two parents. They're gonna go through the process and get the kid back. But immediately when you grab the kid, you're gonna ask the kid, "Would you like to be adopted?"
Because you weren't so destroyed that they could actually do something with you and make money off of you. That's why. If you ever notice with Child Protective Services, generally they end up taking and kidnapping kids from homes where they don't need to be, where there's no real issue going on. Generally, there'll be false allegations and claims that are made on the parents, and the kids that actually are in bad situations that should be taken by Child Protective Services, they're left there to their own devices and generally end up becoming victim of the parents that they should have been taken away from.
And see, this is the reason.
Continue on the cycle.
Yeah, I mean, this is the reason that like that type of stuff, like the prospect of having a child, is horribly scary to me because I honestly don't know what I would do if I was in that situation. But I know that it would it would be terrible.
I know how to get a lot of fertilizer.
Services has no legal authority over you at all. Period.
Basically, you have to assert your rights.
What's up, Angel?
What you just said there, people often need to imagine what I had to go through, because even though I wasn't taken in by no government or whatever when I was a kid, but my dad sure as hell inside my language, I guess you could say, it just ruined my childhood for me. My dad had signed me up for services and with a social worker, and then as a 12-year-old he signed me up as a partial resident in a group home foster care system. And if anyone noticed, I stutter from time to time when I'm speaking, but other times I may sound like I'm as clear as day. That's because I'm high functioning mild autistic, ADHD, bipolar, mood, and seizure disorder. And I was diagnosed when I was a baby, but I ain't going to go back there. It's in regards to what you had said, Ray, and what you are talking about there, Angry Snowman. So, long story short, my dad signed me up. He had his alcohol problems. I was later on transported there permanently because I had no parental supervision. And then as years go by, they helped me develop myself and strongness and whatever there, in addition to everything else. But as I got older, I became more like thoughtful of what I wanted to try and do, and it was always prevented by a state provided guardianship / conservatorship. And so I was pretty much in the system of Minnesota for 11 years of my life under the guardianship and conservatorship services, and I was in 16 years of staff group home service, and even though that was reduced partially. But I've even spoke to my dad last year about my thoughts of how I feel nowadays, and he doesn't even want to admit what he did was wrong towards me, and he thinks I should go back into services. In fact, he made threats last year that he was going to sign me up, and admitted he did try to sign me up. But what can he do now? I have been independent going on 5 years come January 2nd of 2024. But I just had a struggle with the services, even though they helped me out more than my dad. But my childhood, as you could well imagine, was screwed up. There was a lot of stuff that I missed the opportunities of as a kid. And so I kind of just feel as though my dad was doing all that he can to get rid of me and abandon me when he could have just signed me up for an adoption.
And I just hold on. I just want to say first and foremost, I'm really sorry that you had to go through that. That I can only imagine how hard that was for you. I worked in that field for 6 years. And I, like I said, I can't imagine how difficult that would be for you to process through. And so I want to, first and foremost, I'll let Bumpkin rock out, but I just did want to let you know that, first of all, we hear you. And the only thing that I can say is, like, I'm really, really sorry that you had to go through that in that fashion, because that's not right. So
It's
go
not
ahead,
right.
Pumpkin.
Yeah, but look at it like this. Angel turned out to be a pretty decent human being, and if he didn't go through that, he wouldn't be the man he is today sitting here.
Yeah, I wouldn't,
Also
but
true.
my dad, like I said, even had threatened last year, and even I said to him, to be quite honest, Dad, now that I look back at my childhood, it feels like you were trying to abandon and get rid of me, and he came at me and said that I need to grow the F up, stop acting like an effing child, and openly said that, you know what, Angel, I think you should have stayed in the services that do once we're in, because I think that's where you belong.
Yeah, I don't think people process stuff well.
I'm gonna tell you this real quick.
Like,
parents sometimes are shitty people, and that makes them into shitty parents. And shitty parents grow strong people. Sometimes they grow weak people, but sometimes they breed really strong people. And I'm happy that you're able to share that with us, man. I think you need to be talking about it more, because people need to realize what's actually going on. Because what I got from that story was there was a system set up that was supposed to help you and build you into something better, but when you try to go out of that system and achieve more, it held you back, and I don't think that's right.
Sounds a lot like
can I tell one of the things I wanted to try and do as I got older? One of the preventions that they didn't allow, and it more so was on their end, thinking as though it was going to be a danger to me, was the fact that I wanted to travel on an airplane in 2015 by myself, even though I was traveling with my dad, but I wanted my own kind of seating, if you know what I mean, just to feel the comfort of traveling and being able to get my own ticket. And it's just, I've been learning having to learn how to manage my money in the last 5 years that they never taught me in the services, even though they did help me become the man that I am today, even though my dad screwed up and signed me up for the services and is trying to openly be the father that he always tries to be when I don't really think he's a father to me no more. There was little preventions such as the traveling aspect and a little bit more there that the guardianship kind of prevented over there.
Well, look, I want you to understand something, Angel. Even shitty parents teach children valuable lessons. All right. Even if it's what not to do as a human being or as a parent or as an individual and at all in general. Because look, I'm gonna tell you what, this whole shit that people use where I didn't have a father in my life as an excuse on why they're shitty parents doesn't jive with me. Because I didn't have a father in my life, and my father was a shitty, absent piece of shit that only thought about himself. All right. Still didn't stop me from being the best father I could possibly humanly try to be to my own kids. And all I had to do was the exact opposite of what he did with me. It was that simple. Not do the same shit that he did and do the opposite of it. It's really that simple.
Facts. Facts. And the other thing that you got to keep in mind is, now that you're an adult, the thing that it's a realization that you come to as an adult, because you don't know exactly what's going on. You're kind of navigating it through things the best that you can. Your parents are the same. And that's part of becoming an adult, is knowing that they didn't know what the fuck was going on either. Because I don't know now. I'm just kind of navigating my way through it. And I think I have a better grasp on things than my mom did. 100%. I'm better at a lot of stuff than she was. But the realization that it's just I can't continue to hold her. That's not an excuse, because it's she didn't know what the fuck she was doing either. Realistically, it's once you hit a certain point of adulthood, you're hold up a second. They didn't know shit all what was going on, and they had a whole nother human. They're just oh, we're trying to make it cool. My mom had me when she was 18, and out of wedlock, I grew up in a single parent household too, and my mom never went after my biological father for a dime. He wanted to walk, she let him walk. And she chose to do it herself. Like my grandmother, I found out as an adult, wanted to adopt me. She was like, I'll take care of it. Like, no big deal. I'll do it. And she was like, no, my kid, I'll figure it out. Did she do the greatest job? I don't know. I'm pretty fucking awesome. So I think she did do a good job. Did I like most of it? Nope. like we were not cool. Like as adults, we're thick as thieves. Like we're really cool. Like you can sit down and like you can have conversations with her about. I can have conversations with her about a bunch of stuff that I never could have growing up. But I had to go through a big wall of anger with her because of how she chose to do things. But to Snowman's point, if she wouldn't have done things exactly the way that she did, and I wouldn't have experienced exactly what I experienced, I wouldn't be the man that I am today, and I wouldn't be able to provide the context. I wouldn't have the patience. I wouldn't have the discipline. I would have none of those things.
Yeah.
Now,
I kind of see where you're coming from. If you're saying, like in regards to my dad, like sign me up because of what he did at the time, what he thought was appropriate, and if I wasn't in the services, maybe I wouldn't be the kind of man as I am today. Now there, Ray. But it's not just that; it's stuff that my brother and my sister have had between our father, who is a alcohol addict there, and still is to this day. I'm guessing it's just since our whole spat between each other last year, I haven't even communicated with him, and he's tried contacting me apparently. And the reason why I say that is because last month, as I was going to an appointment that my brother was taking me to, my brother asked, "Has Dad called you at all there?" And I kind of like was like, "Huh?" in my head for a second, responded to my brother and said, "No. Has he been trying to call me or trying to get my new number there, bro?" And my brother said that, yeah, he tried. He called me trying to see if you had changed your number, but I told him yes, but haven't given it to him. So it's just all of us of his kids, as he would say we are. We all have our own personal issues with our father that really doesn't want us to even communicate with him no more. And one of my brother's Instagram stories of a Q&A or ask me anything there, one person would ask, "What is the one thing you're most excited about?" And my brother says, "Probably my dad dying."
That's sad. But one of the things that I was gonna ask: have any of you guys looked into going to some QAnon meetings? And what that is, it's actually a group for children and spouses of addicts, specifically alcoholics, and it's a support group.
I've never thought about it, but my dad was a raging alcoholic.
Yeah,
he's the reason why I don't drink.
And so there's a QAnon, or not QAnon, Al-Anon. It's Al-Anon. I'm sorry. My bad.
Yeah, I was like,
late at night, man. You guys done kept me up so far past my bedtime, man. I just want to say, besides Angel, fuck everybody on the panel because it's y'all's fault that I'm saying goofy ass shit.
I haven't even got to Biden's cabinet yet. Reckless. Don't even.
I know it, but no. I would look into Al-Anon. It's a support group for the children of addicts because you have experienced trauma. Like that is trauma. Like all you and your siblings have experienced trauma because your father was an addict, and that's one of those places where you can go talk to other people who are in that situation and they can like help you process and mine through some things. So it's something that I would look into.
Yeah, when you start talking to people, you kind of figure out like, there's a lot of people out there kind of have the same experience.
Yeah, like that's how I got through not having a dad at all. I was like, unfortunately, Black community, a lot of single parent households, and then we was just like, oh, nobody has dads. That doesn't make me feel awkward at this point. Like
I didn't have a dad either, bro. Be honest with you.
I mean, fortunately, I had a mom who was willing to beat my ass for about 10 years. So
hey, same here, dude. I'll be honest with you. You hear me push back and give single moms a hard time all the time. You know what I'm saying? And my mom, she made mistakes herself, but if it wasn't for my mom is the one that taught me all the skills that I have to be the survivor I am. She's the one that taught me how to survive. And I am the only one out of all of my siblings, I have a brother and a sister, that actually took the skills that she was willing to give and took them to heart, you know? And when she passed away, she knew that she wasn't ever going to have to worry about me again, or my wife or my kids, because I know how to survive. I've done it. I've been homeless. You know, I've had to figure things out. I know what it's like to, dude. I when it comes to some of the things I've went through in my adult life, I've actually went through some shit that would cause most people to fold up like a cheap $3 lawn chair and commit suicide and say, I'm done.
Yep. Me too.
Yep.
99% of the people on this earth would have off themselves by now if they lived my life. Half of them.
Well, I think, what, Reese, me and you, we've sat and had competitions on who's had the went through some of the shittier experiences, and I think we're pretty neck and neck right now.
Well, I lost my freedom. Hold on, I want to give you all your roses. I think that's what adds the value to the group of panel, like the people who come and hang out over here in this space specifically. I think a lot of those people have gone through shit. And I think that's the reason that we can like hash it out. We can go down these rabbit holes. We can get a little bit frustrated with each other, but we can bring it back to center and actually have the conversation to move the things forward, because these are the types of men that are going to have to fix things, which is the reason, even though Bumpkin just gave that big ass lion yawn, we got to support his ass. You know, he be sleepy. Like sometimes we got to get Bumpkin a Mountain Dew or some shit so that he can do what he needs to do, because it's his problem now. We got to.
Should I make some coffee and make this a long night?
Oh my God, I don't know, because I'm supposed to be going to sleep too. So like now you got me thinking if I need to make some fucking coffee.
If you go to sleep, you're just going to be pissed off when you wake up in the morning.
No, I'm off tomorrow. I don't work Fridays. I'm just going to sleep.
Shut up and keep streaming. This is a good. This is good content.
I know. Okay. Damn.
This has been a hell of a build, dude. This has been an excellent build.
Biden's cabinet.
All right. Let's start with Janet Yellen. And by the way, keep in mind, Jewish individuals are.
Let's talk about Marjorie Taylor Greene's last tirade. Let's talk about that.
Hold on.
They're talking about bringing the Bidens down.
Hold up.
Let Bumpkin finish. He got to land this plane. He's been waiting patiently to land this plane.
I've got to cook. All right. Jewish individuals.
You better make this cooking quick. I'm hungry.
Jewish individuals are 3% of the U.S. population. That's roughly 6 million people. Okay. So when we talk about representation in a supposed democratic system, this shit doesn't make any fucking sense, right? Here is Biden's cabinet, right? Janet Yellen, Secretary of Treasury, Jew. Merrick Garland, Attorney General, Jew. Secretary of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, Jew. Director of National Intelligence, Avril Haines, Jew. Okay, I'm just going to name all these names. They're Jews, okay? White House Chief of Staff, Ron Klain. Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken. Deputy Secretary of State, Wendy Sherman. They got the deputy and the secretary. They're both the same thing. Secretary of State for Political Affairs, the Office of Science and Technology Policy, Eric Lander, Victory Noland, Wendy Sherman, and then Director of Central Intelligence Agency, or the CIA, David S. Cohen. They are all Jewish individuals,
and none of them have an actual Jewish last name.
And besides Cohen, and they're all of the tribe. And I guarantee you, if you look into these people, the majority of them have dual citizenship to the state of Israel. That is a security risk for the United States of America. You wonder why we have such a devout love for the state of Israel, why we give them the most money out of the defense budget. You want to know why? Because when the Secretary of Homeland Security has a fucking dual citizenship to the state of Israel, it kind of makes sense, right? It kind of makes sense.
Well, see, that's what was going on with Jared Kushner, who's married to Trump's daughter.
Yes.
Whose dad is a fucking an Ashkenazi Jewish fucking mob boss.
Yes. Listen.
And look, now that none of us can get on planes, I guess we'll road trip to see each other.
Well, there's actually a lot of people that honestly believe that Jared Kushner was running the country, not Donald Trump.
Jared Kushner was running the country.
No. I mean, that's I never even thought about that. That's very disturbing. You're 100% right.
And I hate to be that guy. Listen, man, I'm not saying if you have Jewish ancestry that you're bad. That'd be like me saying if you're African, you're bad. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you allow people with dual citizenship to have a say in your politics, it's inherently bad and will lead to outcomes like this. This is just because they were able to get the lead. This is just because they're able to do this, and we allowed it to happen. Right,
dude. That question, murder is like asking someone if they want to die by death of 1,000 cuts or diarrhea.
Yes. Listen.
I'm gonna tell you something really quick, and I'm gonna sound crazy for this, but I kind of sat back in 2012 and looked at the larger picture of things and what was going on. Right after, like, as soon as Obama got elected in 2012, I was watching whatever. I usually watch that stuff, and I was watching. I was sitting back and watching. Me and my buddies sitting there, and we're like, well, who's next? Right? That's the question we ask each other. We're like, who's next? And the first one we came to was, okay, Hillary Clinton.
I choose death.
Hillary Clinton was gonna be running, and then I was thinking, and I'm like, well, who's gonna run against Hillary Clinton? And I don't know for what reason I thought of this, but I said Donald damn Trump.
I call Cap
run against Hillary Clinton. I told you I'm gonna sound crazy, dude. I'm telling you, my 100% is 100% truth right now.
Look, this motherfucker sitting here talking about how he was a prophet having visions and shit.
He read the tea leaves and threw the bones, man.
Right now, okay?
He's the three-eyed raven.
And then, hold on.
And then his legs started working.
Every election, there has to be an issue that they're running on, right?
You need to stop practicing that hoodoo shit.
Issue. I know, dude, I sound crazy, but I'll take a lie detector test of this shit, and I'll pay for it. I'm probably going to do it one day because I don't know if I put it on Facebook. I've been trying to get in my Facebook, but I've been trying to prove this because when I thought of it, I was like, I got to put this out there, right? There's got to be some sort of record of it. But the issue that I knew they was going to be running on was the wall, okay? And the reason they won't,
no way.
Dude,
I'm sorry. There's no way. There was.
Bumpkin said he did not believe in you at all.
Look, I'm literally sitting here.
Bumpkin is a good Christian man, so he be believing shit. He does not believe you, sir.
It's just because the wall.
I'm sorry, but God did not give a
the
prophecy
wall
for you.
Is not to keep people out. You think the wall is to keep people out? It's not.
No, it's to keep America locked in.
It's to keep people in. Okay.
Same reason why they got the walls around cities.
That's why when DeSantis is running and he's talking about securing the border, he's like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna secure the border. Like, well, how are you gonna do that? I'm gonna build a wall. That's why.
Hey, you know what, y'all? The Great Wall of China.
I'm about to go.
Biden's in office right now, and he's still he acted like he wasn't gonna do it, but he's still building the wall.
Well, look, dude, I'll be honest. Well, hold on, Bumpkin, because I'll be honest with you. What he's saying about the wall being there to keep people in, I actually proposed that idea after Trump got elected, and I was sitting there thinking about it. What if this whole push for this wall isn't to keep people out, but it's more so to keep people locked in so they can't get away when they actually start trying to attack American citizens?
Wow.
Oh, my God. Do you know who has a wall?
Do you know about the new White House?
Oh, my. Hold on. He's about to tell who has a wall. Bumpkin, tell us.
Guess what? It's the top of the night. The state of Israel has a fucking wall. It's about 20 feet tall, and it's fucking cement, and it has gunner turrets on the top of it. You know what? You know what doesn't keep Israelis in? the wall, because currently, as we're speaking, they are storming the Gaza Strip, killing Palestinian children. God damn it! I'm tired of it.
But dude, America isn't Israel.
Yes, but it worked. But why is it that they can have a wall, and the Great Wall of China didn't keep the Chinese in?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm rocking with you on what you're saying.
You might be wrong about that, bro.
I think there's a correlation to the Israel.
Historically,
listen, he might be wrong about the Great Wall of China
for forever, and they've never been used to keep people in, unless you're in the
Great Wall of China was used to keep the Chinese in.
They were trying to keep the Mongolians out. So are you saying the Mongolians were freedom fighters, bro?
Hey, Ray, listen to me.
If you look at where all the towers are for
right,
they're positioned
facing China.
Yes, they're not facing everywhere else. They're actually facing the Chinese.
Yep.
Hold on,
it's true.
A second. I'm looking this up.
It's something that it's something that we have been led to believe. It's another one of them fallacies.
Yeah, I don't think China had the resources to build all that shit.
Hey, Ray, you remember when you remember when Daenerys attacked King's Landing and Cersei had all them scorpions lined across the top of the wall, right?
Yep.
That's how China's wall is set up, but only the other way around. The defensive positions are facing China.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
They're not, though.
But they are.
Google it. Look at it right now. Well,
I'm looking at it right now. Hold on.
Here's the thing: when you Google a picture of the Great Wall,
I mean, I don't know which side is which, but
right.
Like, okay, you already shared it. You don't have to share mine. You already shared it.
Google Earth.
Look right there. They're in the center of the wall, and then you have windows on all sides, and up top it's openings on all sides. You know why? Because if they break the fucking wall, you're gonna have to shoot them when they're inside the wall.
Like, I don't think you guys I was like, strategically, I was like, this looks the way that the wall is supposed to look, dude. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Also, you need. Wait a second. Reese. You also need windows on both sides just in case they're not going to break through the wall where the people are shooting them. So you also still need to be able to shoot them in the back, dude. Like, so they can't get to where they're going.
That is funny as fuck, right? But your ass might be right.
I am right. I know how walls work.
I know how war works.
Oh,
Jesus. Ancient
war. I don't know about the Chinese wall, but let's get back to the American wall, right? Let's get back to the Great American Wall. Okay. Do I sound that crazy by saying that it is not just to keep people out, but it's also to keep people in? Do I sound that far-fetched?
No.
Okay, thank you.
To be quite honest, one of the things I've always wondered and never made no statement of it is for those that oppose the wall, like the Democrats and far left liberals do and all that. Why don't you get rid of the fence around your house and allow the illegal immigrants or aliens, as they once were called, to come into your house there if you want to welcome them in? And yet Democrats complain about Republicans sending buses of illegal aliens to their city and all that. Like that Eric dude in New York City, there complained about the buses being transported from Texas and Florida, and the same thing with all the other big city Democrats that want to complain when they want to welcome them in.
That's fair. But bro, if you really think about it, what if the walls of your house are made to keep you in?
Share my screen. Share my screen, because this is going to blow your fucking mind.
I'm on the way back. Hold on a second.
Who the fuck are beef? Who the fuck is beef with beans?
Oh, that's a homie.
That sounds
that's
like a good combination,
man.
I mean, what's wrong
That's
with
beans. What's up, beef with concern? You can come up, Beans. You know you can come up, bro.
Is that a little podcast?
Yeah.
Dude, I have not been.
He stops in to stir the pot, man. Okay, hold on. I'm adding. There you go. There you go, Snowman? You up?
Yeah. Okay. Now this is going to blow your fucking mind, being what we talked about. Okay, this is an article that was written about the Great Wall of China. Okay, it says for the first time in history, experts have mapped all of Genghis Khan's wall, a 458-mile stretch of China's world-famous Great Wall in Mongolia. According to Fox News, a subsequent study found that this fortification wasn't built to stave off invading hordes after all, but instead to manage nomadic shepherds. The joint effort on behalf of researchers from Yale University, Mongolia Academy of Sciences used unmanned aerial drones to survey the territory, published in the Antiquity Journal. The findings starkly countered previous theories that this section of the wall was defensive in nature. Our analysis of the wall suggests that it was not built to defend against large invading armies or even against nomadic raids in sedentary lands, said lead author and professor of Hebrew University of Jerusalem, Gideon Shalak Levi.
That's crazy.
In my J Prince voice, are we gonna believe their history?
No, just the irony of think of just the irony of what we've been talking about. The article that I pulled up about it was written.
What he said.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm disregarding this entire thing now. I'm sorry.
It says rather that it was geared to monitor and control the movements of nomadic populations and their herds.
So I guess the state of Israel's got a problem with nomadic farmers.
They're at it again, bro. They never stop. We can have it.
The fact that it was fucking it was who was it again? What was the dude's name? Fucking
pull up that name again.
The Hebrew University of Jerusalem that authored this.
Bro, this is wild. This is the wild. The further we get down this rabbit hole, the more I hate life, dude.
It wasn't even connected.
Dude, you can't even make this shit up.
He just pulled up a random article.
Yeah, it happened in real fucking time, too, man. That is wild.
Oh, what is going on? What is this?
We can't get on planes. That's what's going on. I hope you guys enjoy driving.
It's like Groundhog Day. It's like
you never said anything crazy about him other than the fact that, you're God's chosen people. We understand that. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Let my people go.
God's chosen people, sure.
Yes.
Well, you got that going on, and then on top of it, do you remember where now granted this was just like supposedly some just symbolic thing, but the Catholic fucking bishop or Catholic Pope that we have now, I forget his name, and the heads of the other, what is it, like 6 major religions all went to Mount Sinai last year, and they issued a new green 10 commandments. I shit you not. You can look it up. It's real shit.
This is like we got to talk about something pleasant for like at least 30 minutes so I can like not stress.
I'm getting ready to have a baby in about 6 weeks.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
There we go. Come out with the beard.
Her name is going to be Vivica Nicole.
Oh, it's a girl.
Yes.
Ooh. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, me and my son are being overrun. I told him he's not allowed to move out of the house until the last kid turns 18 and moves out with him.
Oh, Lord. That's terrible. You got to stick around.
If I got to suffer, he's got to suffer.
Oh, jeez.
Well, you got a son that you can, you know what I mean? Whenever that time of month comes around, you can just take a fishing trip, man.
Yeah. Actually, that's good.
Dude, I have a feeling that those 2 girls are going to have synchronized periods while their mom's going through menopause, and nobody wants to be a part of that shit alone.
That's why I'm saying take your son.
Menopause ain't a monthly thing, dude. That's an everyday thing for the rest of your life until it ends.
Yes, but
hold up. Wait a second. So listen, Snowman. I know I have the perfect plan for you. So you start building. So you need to get a hold of a lot of rocks and cement, right? And you start building a wall. and you put the turrets on the inside, bro, to keep them in.
Actually, what I'm in the process of doing is I'm actually in the process of taking all the mole tunnels under my yard and making them bigger, and basically building like an underground tunnel system to where I can run and hide right in the backyard.
You're building fucking Viet Cong fucking holes.
Yeah, get a tough shed, right? Get a tough shed. This is what you do. You get a tough shed, and then you dig a hole. Put the tough shed over the hole. Or you need
moles around here are so prevalent that they've done most of the work for me. All I got to do is make it bigger.
Hey, if you need help with that, I'll come out there and help you for free, man.
Bro, are you threatening to come out and fuck Snowman's yard? Is that what you're talking about? You're gonna make the hole bigger? Like, that's fucked up, dude.
Well, no, I can build a bunker. I can build him a nice little man cave.
But no, actually, to be honest with you, man, if we can actually get approved within the next couple of years to buy this property, I want to buy it, and I want to actually dig and put an underground bunker on our property.
That would
down
be
in the
awesome.
ground.
Fun fact: it's illegal to do that in Washington State.
Damn. What?
It's illegal.
They said you will be above ground so we can drone strike your
Why
ass
does
at
that
all
not
times?
surprise me with all those fucking Maoists over and fucking commies that live over there?
Washington State is the most extreme state, and people don't realize that.
It's
like,
dude. It is way worse than California,
dude. It is
the leftist propaganda. Yes, I grew up in Washington, right? And my grandfather was telling me about this sort of stuff. The leftist SJW propaganda was being pushed in Washington in the 90s.
Dude, I heard it's even worse in Oregon, man. Why do you think the majority of grunge music and the grunge movement came out of fucking Seattle? Because everybody was fucking miserable.
But do you know why California is so much worse off right now than Washington?
Because they got a bigger GDP than Washington does.
Not only that, California has a far smaller rural area than Washington does. Washington has a mass rural area. The only like it's always the big cities, right? So it's just that strip of Washington along the coastline, right? That's actually liberal. Everything else, Eastern Washington, every other county is red.
Hey, dude, I'm okay if the San Andreas Fault breaks everything from the.
I'm okay with setting it off ourselves
off into the ocean.
Yeah, I'm okay with setting it off ourselves. I'll do it.
Get some wedge openers.
I would go so far as I'd be okay if the Democrats took what was left of the wall and used it to wall off California, Oregon, and Washington from the rest of America.
Fun fact about Oregon,
they put the gun turrets facing inside so that they can't leave.
Shut the fuck up, I did not know that shit was written by a fucking straw hat. And you know what's crazy about that is it would be on a stream with you fucking jackasses after all the discussions we've had and the topics that have been brought up that I would find the one article right off the rip that implicates these motherfuckers as the one for coming up with that nonsensical fucking bullshit.
Hold on. People don't know right now, but Oregon, Eastern Oregon is exactly the same way. Western Oregon, the coast of Oregon is very liberal, and the rest of Oregon is not. And they're actually in the local houses of each county is trying to join Idaho, and they're trying to make a new state that's going to be called Greater Idaho.
They're trying to create Greater Idaho.
A onesie this summer.
Greater Idaho?
They're trying to create. It's not just Oregon, right? It's also Eastern Washington, right?
They're trying to make more states.
No. They're trying to make a giant state. They're trying to make a Texas in the middle of the U.S.
Yeah, all the crybabies. Wait a second, it'll be like Crybaby Texas.
No, the conservatives are trying to.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we could go there.
Yeah.
So would it be like the conservative version of Disneyland? Maybe.
Yeah.
It'd be like Texas with like bad weather.
Has anyone been to Idaho?
Dude, Idaho is the greatest place for white people to live.
Listen, what?
It really is. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh, no,
I mean, I know there's a lot of drug overdoses in Idaho.
Idaho is nothing but fields and mountains and woods. Most of the shit is just wilderness that nobody's even touched.
Dude, driving
awesome.
through the part of Idaho I drove through to get to North Dakota, right? From Washington. Because I drove. I didn't fly. I drove with all my shit. Like a man, right? Like a straight pilgrimage. You know what I mean?
Like a person who says crazy shit on the internet that can't get on planes.
Right?
Oh my god!
I'm never cash apping you again, you prick.
Bumpkin was like, I'm not ready for that type of rejection. I'm just gonna put it on the car.
Sir, come over here, sir. Come here, sir.
I officially hate everybody.
I'm not going to the room.
He like walks up. Him and the TSA agent make eye contact. He's like, "Yeah, you might as well go ahead and take them pants off, son."
Take those pants off. You know what I'm gonna say?
Whoa.
I gotta go. You're gonna see my fat ass turn around and walk out the building.
Unbelievable.
Wow, the wife just scared the fuck out of me.
Yeah, you scared of your wife, bro? Simp.
Yeah, when I'm sitting here wearing a pair of headphones and everything's fucking noise canceled, and then she's like, babe.
And he was like, "This is exactly why I'm building the wall, honey."
That's why I'm getting a bunker, damn it.
You guys are all
He's gonna get off the stream. He's gonna go get his shovel. He's gonna start angrily digging. Fuck those guys.
Yo, if Snowman ain't digging a motherfucker, he's gonna hire some Mexicans.
Screw you guys, I'm going home. Fuck off.
Snowman, you could have your gaming room and your studio. Oh, did he leave?
Yeah. He's not mad. It's just dramatic effect, but like he's probably still listening.
He could have his studio in the bunker when he builds it.
Yeah, right.
Facts, also true.
Just saying. He could run an internet cable with a PVC pipe all the way down, incline down into the tunnel, into the bunker.
Dude, that's the dumbest shit I ever heard.
Oh, you have a problem with that? What, you don't like that?
I don't, first off, I don't game. Gaming is for fucking juvenile fucking children.
You could stream from there, you mega retard. What do you mean?
Oh, dude, you're a fucking libtard. You want to go back and forth on which tard is the most tard?
I'm way more conservative than you ever will be. Let's
dude, yeah, you are way more fucking confused.
Hey, Bumpkin's like, I can't show you the other walls because they got different flags on them. Okay, Bumpkin. It's okay, Bumpkin. I got a rebel flag too. It says it's got "Don't tread on me" snake on it.
I tread where I please.
Ooh, ouch! See, Bumpkin will see that flag. I bet Bumpkin if he's like walking through a neighborhood and he sees one of those "Don't tread on me" flags, the first thing he does is trounce through their yard, dragging his feet. Like I can totally see him doing that. And then like the guy looks out the door and Bumpkin's looking over and he's like, "Don't tell me what to do."
Sign everywhere.
Everywhere's fucked. Everywhere's fucked. But no, the "Don't tread on me" flag. I'm not gonna stomp on it, right? For one, because it is an American flag, and
it's part of American history.
Well, no. But would you walk through their yard to be in defiance of the instructions?
The actual historical context of the "Don't tread on me" flag comes from the very first militia in America, the Gadsden Gang. They were the ones that actually designed it.
Oh, so basically that flag's gang colors. I got you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna be flying when we.
It was the first American gang colors. You are actually that's historically accurate.
Booyah! Wow. See, I'm planning on getting one now, and then I'm gonna trip people out when I walk out.
These, right? Like, you should get one of these.
What, a new
is that your flag?
That looks like a fucking purge flag, dude.
New Frontier.
Oh, yeah, it's like a really gay flag, bro. I'm sorry.
Bro, why are you hating on his flag? Bro, I'm getting one now. No, see, now you
honest with each other.
You have now activated my oppositional defiant card. I'm getting a fucking flag, and I'm putting mine up.
Hey, you know what? And I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy this game off of Amazon called Secret Hitler.
I'll play. We can play it right now.
What
Dude,
is that like
it's actually a good game too. It's because
is that Among Us except for with
dude? It's a multiplayer game, and you have people playing fascists and the anti-fascists, and one of them is actually Hitler, and you got to pick who it is before the game.
What?
So one are liberals and one are fascists, right?
Yes.
No one knows who the fascists are. Right?
No, you know who the fascists are. You know who the liberals are. I believe.
No. You do not know who the
Oh
fascists
yeah, you're
are.
right. You're right.
Whoa.
Everyone says they're a liberal, right? And the fascists know each other, but there's one Hitler. The
And
fascists
nobody knows who that is.
Nobody knows who the Hitler is. Okay.
It's one
So
liberal.
there's two ways to win, right? Everyone's trying to convince everyone they're a liberal, right? The liberals have to get 5 liberal laws into effect to win the game. The fascists have to get 5 fascist policies into effect and they win the game, or 3 fascist policies and elect Hitler as chancellor. It's a fucking awesome game. It's a game of deceit,
Deceit, trickery, fuckery, nonsense, all that
deceit,
shit.
trickery, fuckery,
Politics.
nonsense. And I'm king of that game, baby. I don't lose that game.
He's
You're a dangerous man.
Okay, so somebody needs to get a copy of that game for whenever we do the meetup over at Mike's place for
we
the
can do it
bonfire,
online.
or whenever we go to the sand dunes, because like this shit needs to be a thing. I
They
think
got
it'd
an
be
online
hilarious.
version of it.
They got an
What?
online version of Secret Hitler, yes.
Dude, we're gonna have to play that on live stream.
Yeah, I gotta play that.
Dude,
I gotta play
I'll
that.
set up a Twitch for that just so we can stream us.
A
I don't think they'll
Rumble,
let me do
Rumble,
that.
yeah. Twitch
They
it,
won't.
Rumble it,
Rumble.
do everything.
Now, if we could just get cards for humanity
Yeah. Cards
for
Against
online,
Humanity.
that would be great.
They have
Dude, I have the ultimate cards for humanity fucking deck though. For real, we have like every single fucking box and expansion pack.
they have Cards Against Humanity online.
Oh, dude, they do. It's just like you go to a website and it's 5 to 10 people. This is
I-
hilarious.
I would rather play Secret Hitler. I'm sorry. I'm just.
Dude, Cards Against Humanity is
I
like
had
the
a
greatest
choice.
fucking drinking game ever.
Actually, it is. That is true. But no, we can definitely set up. We should have a Secret Hitler night. That would be phenomenally fun.
I think that would be
I'm in
great,
on
dude.
that.
Honestly,
Because we could stream it. We could do a Rumble exclusive. So we'll do it over on Rumble. So that way
and
we
we gotta
can
get the New Frontier guys to come over and play. That would.
Oh,
That-
they'll be down. Oh,
that'd
they'll
be
down.
freaking
Dude, we
hilarious.
could do New Frontier against Americans.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
We're all Americans.
No, you're New Frontier.
We're all Americans.
Oh my goodness. That ain't right.
We're,
You can't be
an
taking
American
shots like that.
nationalist group. We're an American nationalist group. I'm
I am
sorry
of
that
the
we
blood of
went
old
to the
Valyria.
home. My bad.
No, I'm just
Valyrian.
razzing you, Bumpkin. The more I talk to you, the more you grow on me, even though I still think you're a piece of shit.
You just aren't. I mean, do you read, Snowman?
Do I read?
Yeah.
Do you?
No, I just look at books. I just look at books and ask them to start speaking to me.
Right. See, so here's the problem when I talk about trying to coax people over to my side of politics.
Right.
One problem is you're an older gentleman, and most of the time older gentlemen are stubborn.
Yeah, I'm a little set in my ways.
You're set in your ways, and having a young man approach you and tell you about a different set of
I generally think you're an idiot.
You generally think I'm an idiot, right?
Whippersnapper, if you would.
Well,
a whippersnapper.
Well, see, the thing is, Bumpkin, is you got to give me at least enough credit to acknowledge the fact that I am willing to accept when I have wrong information or that I've read something that is incorrect.
That is true. That is true.
You know, and there's very few of those that are left. You know, even in YouTube right now, everybody wants to die on the hill of their information.
Yes, they do. Mr. Youngblood says Bumpkin is a diet racist. I don't give a fuck.
He's just giving shit he's giving you shit. He was up here with us earlier. He doesn't actually think that.
I know. What if I said,
Am I unleaded racism?
What if I said I was a racism plus package? What about that? How about that?
What about energy efficient racism?
Energy efficient.
So you're like Hulu plus
high
racism?
Efficiency racist.
High efficiency racism.
I am a professional racist.
Yes. No. I'm a competitive racist.
He's he's like, oh, I can do better than that. Like he's the person who shows.
Dude, I am an open opportunity offensive racist.
He shows up to the Klan rally with the biggest cross, trying to flex it on people.
You Red Illusion Snowman is racist light.
Red Illusion, got him.
Hey, I would say be brave and think is out racist you Snowman.
Be brave and think is delusional, right? Bro, like he on some next level.
It's just like, and listen, I know all about the typical white nationalist talking points about the genetics, all of that, and it's like he doesn't know any of those things. Like I don't know where his racism stems from. It's not from a biological point. It's just, I think it's literally just by a skin color thing.
The thing with Be Brave and Think and what he says and the rhetoric he pushes is he literally contradicts himself like immediately after making a statement and says that he didn't make the statement he just made. All the time. All the fucking time.
I mean,
bro, if Be Brave went on Fight Club, it would shut down. He could shut down Fight Club
I think Be Brave could possibly, if he could probably be the ending demise of the Black Manosphere on YouTube. He could single-handedly destroy the Black Manosphere.
He just goes from panel to panel, just dismantling it.
No, dude, all I would have to do is make like a compilation, clip of all of his racisms, and then put some really racist cartoonage to it, and send it out into the ether and see what happens.
Well, I mean, but let's be honest. Let's leave it in context. He does find black men very sexy.
That's funny as shit.
Well, he definitely be jocking them like he does. He be riding on their jock like he want to do. I'm just saying. I was caught off guard when Be Brave and Think hit my panel today. I really was. He was the last person I expected.
How did he find it? Did you put his name on it?
No.
How does he navigate the internet so well for being that old and Santa-ish? Shouldn't he be making toys for white children come Christmas?
Dude, you act like he's Klaus or some shit, dude. He's more like Krampus.
Okay, so shouldn't he be capturing the evil... I guess apparently he probably just goes around sacking black kids because he... and making them work out until they're sexy.
We got Cyber. Hey, Cyber. If I drop the link, you ought to come up here and give your take to Mr. Reckless Ray and everyone about your interaction with fucking Be Brave and Think today.
Like, bro,
Be Brave is Pumpkin in the future. Fuck you, B-Rad.
Bro, that's savage, bro.
Fuck you.
Hey, but you know what? That is I could see that being part of your near future.
Why,
bruh?
I see that being accurate, man. Because one of these days all this fucking shit is gonna cause you to become delusionally. Yeah, I don't know. I'm tired.
Bumpkin doesn't hate black people right now. Like, why is he going to start hating black people?
Just ignore everything I'm saying. It makes no sense to me.
Bumpkin's a certified conqueror. He beat a dude up and banged his chick, bro. That's worthy of high praise. He can never be brave. Be brave ain't never taken nobody's cookie from them ever. He ain't never done it.
There's no Twitter proof to prove it. It's not been substantiated by Wikipedia. We do not know if this is real facts. This could just be a story that he made up and some fucked up.
Well, it's a damn good one. It's a damn good one. I mean,
it's a good one. I'll give you that.
I'm sorry. When making up a story on the spot, do you necessarily know what exact gun that was pulled on you?
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
That's easy. That's easy to rattle off a gun if you're a gun person.
Well, if you're a gun person, you're gonna say,
and you're obviously a gun person.
You're gonna say like a Glock, or you're gonna say like a 1911, or you're gonna say literally anything.
No, I wouldn't. I would. I'd probably say just
like,
the fucking.
So listen. So there I was in this party.
But
listen, I was at a party one time and this girl kissed me. Hey, somebody listen to my man's story.
Nobody cares. We're talking over you. See how the respect flies back?
Bruh, no. Shut your mouth. And so I was at a party and I kissed this dude's girl and he pulled out a bazooka and he put it in my face.
It was a Tech 9. A Tech 9, I tell you.
He pulled out 19 Uzis. I don't know where he got all these hands from, but they was all on my face.
Magazine.
And he said, it's about to be Captain Bukaki time. And I was like, what are you doing?
He brought out the 22 on the AR platform.
So anyways, then I tied this girl's hair in a delicate ponytail, rode her doggy style like a horse all the way to my house, bro.
You mean he put on the Hucklebuck, dude?
The Hucklebuck.
The Hucklebuck.
What did you say, Hucklebuck?
The Hucklebuck.
If you
I tried. See, and my story was
nowhere
nowhere near as good as Bumpkin. So, like, no, I don't think you made it up. And that's where we're going with that. I don't think Bumpkin made it up. I definitely don't think Bumpkin's going to turn into Be Brave. Like, Bumpkin doesn't sit around now blaming black people for everything and saying that white people commit zero crimes.
I don't know. He keeps going to fucking Fight Club, and he's going to end up becoming a paranoid old man sitting in a bunker somewhere in the middle of a trailer park with himself shut in.
Bro, you can't get paranoid from arguing with black NPCs, dude. What are you talking about?
Hey, let me sit here and narrate my delusional story.
Okay. I mean, it's late. It's late at night. I'll believe anything right now. Including China's wall story that you told.
Fuck off, you fucking prick. I hate you. Hey, at least I had the decency to Google that shit and look it up and find the irony of pulling up an article written by the fucking Jewish fucking authorities.
Bro, it's not even just like Jewish author. It was from fucking the state of Israel.
Right. That is insane, dude. The irony of that, dude, that you can't make that shit up, dude.
You can't.
No.
But what I want to say is I've been open about my background. I used to be wig nasty. I used to be a very, very heavy white nationalist.
I used to be a pookie.
What the fuck's a pookie?
Yeah,
it's like a white nationalist, except for they just bang a bunch of chicks and yeah. It has nothing to do with white nationalism.
No, I was basically like a very unsavourably dude. Most people probably wouldn't have liked me 10 years ago. You know, because I didn't have the same morals and beliefs and outlook on life that I do now.
That's fair. But as I progress politically, you just have to sort of realize that America is not a European nation. America historically is not a Europe really. I mean, there are a large percent of the population was European, but historically,
you don't think America's still run by the crown?
God no. What? That's so. I just explained who's America's ran by, bro. What do you mean? Did we not just spend the last 30 minutes?
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Your mouth was moving, so I wasn't listening.
Oh,
America,
childish.
Fuck yeah!
I'm just messing with you, Bumpkin.
Anyways, the New Frontier flags are $25 a pop. If you want one, you can email me.
What?
He said you can get a flag that actually has a very nice collective behind it.
You have to hang it up like this because it don't make sense if you put it any other way. That's what it's got. That's why I don't like it.
Bro, I'm fucked up. That's me.
I mean, you know, is a flag supposed to fly like that, sir?
Wait, what do you mean?
Like what?
What kind of pole do you put that flag on so it could fly?
Oh wait,
generally they hang off of a mandingo.
Do you mean why are the stripes vertical? Is that what you're talking about?
No,
because that's the way a
eagle,
flag's supposed to fly when you're in a time of peace. Vertical stripes mean you're in a time of peace, correct?
Yeah. Sort of. No. So this flag.
My critique of it is the orientation of the eagle.
Well, actually, if you notice, doesn't that have 13 stars on it?
Yes.
To represent the 13 original colonies?
Yes.
You know, so that's technically he took that from the Betsy Ross flag,
Yeah,
the
I know
flag.
that, but
what? Hold on, Rock. What's the point of the vertical? Because I thought, Rock, shut up, dude.
I'm listening.
What's the point of the vertical flag, the vertical stripes? Because I believe wasn't there just a red and white flag at one point in time that meant something specific?
Yeah. So it's sort of like a mesh of several different flags, right? Obviously, the NF Eagle, right? That's the New Frontier Eagle. That's the eagle that we've adopted. The 13 stars for the 13 original 13 colonies. These are vertical because this is drafted from original draft of the United States flags, where the eagle was there, right? The American eagle with the stripes like that. So that was a possibility of of America's flag. And we decided to do that because we're in America. We're Americana group.
Well, doesn't the red, white, and blue also mean that we're in war?
I think so.
Isn't there some kind of connotation? Because I know that there's the war flag, there's the peacetime flag that we have never seen flown. And I think that's the one that's where the things the stripes are reversed or some shit, where it's white and red and with a white background, white field, and blue stars or some shit like that. And then there's the what is it, the no quarter flag, the black flag.
If I remember correctly, the war flag is the one with the golden kind of like. It has like golden tassel on the outside.
No, that's the maritime law flag.
That's the maritime law. Okay.
Yeah, anytime you see a flag with golden tassels around it flying in any government building, that means that they are not operating under the Constitution. They're operating under maritime law.
Dang.
Well, that was
that was the whole thing.
Well, technically, if you look under the U.S. flag code, the only actual legitimate flag in America is the one that flies over the White House. Every other one is nothing more than a replica. It's not a real United States flag.
Yeah, B-Red. That's my whole point. That was my whole point of disavowing white nationalism and becoming an American patriot. What the fuck are you talking about?
See, and that's why I don't understand why people have a problem with American nationalism. Everybody should be an American nationalist in this country.
Yeah, so I think the main problem that people have with American nationalists is the most American nationalists, they espouse this sort of like civic, open, almost like anyone can immigrate into America and be an American citizen type rhetoric. And that's their main problem with a lot of American nationalists, mainstream ones at least. Whereas where I step in and I say, I'm an American nationalist, but I am not for anyone can just come across the border and be an American. It's like America is not a set of ideals. It's a people, it's a soil, it's a nation, and it's a culture. Be it that culture has digressed into almost chaos, but there is a culture there.
Well, to be honest with you, if you think about the American empire itself as a whole, it's actually really amazing that we grew to be one of the, biggest superpowers in the world, being that we are the youngest nation in the world.
Well, you know why, right?
Because we're a conglomeration of every other nation's best people.
No.
Well,
if you look at who the founding fathers took inspiration from to create the United States of America, they were looking to places like Greece and Rome, specifically Rome. You find a bunch of Roman symbols and Roman legislation directly in our doctrine and how our system is set up. The founding fathers, yes, they were Masonic and all of this, but they were building a new Rome. That's what they were doing.
Well, they also highly respected the Iroquois nation too, as well, though.
Yes.
Because a lot of our founding documents, they used a lot of what he's saying, Roman, Rome. What Rome was, they took some of the old world with the Magna Carta, plus as well, they took a lot of the ideas from the Iroquois nation to actually build what we know as America now.
Yeah.
And the laws that govern it.
The Iroquois Nation, is that
the Iroquois Papers, which is the Iroquois Nation's fucking constitution. They were an actual Indian tribe that actually had a constitution for their people and a governance system. A lot of people are unaware that they actually helped influence the Constitution.
Do they know about? Did they know about Roman law?
I don't know if they were aware of Roman law
because like the way the governmental system is set up is very Roman in nature. The only thing that's different between the American Empire and the Roman Empire is a Caesar or an emperor. And that came later in their time period. And I personally think that is the natural progression of America. Because we always lead back to this point. Throughout American history, we always lead back to this point. Even from the first president, we had this suggestion. What did they
Rome?
Huh?
All roads
lead to Rome.
All roads lead to Rome. What did they want George Washington to be?
They wanted him to be king.
They wanted him to be king.
And he actually turned it down and disavowed him and almost didn't accept the presidency because of it.
Yes, but we always come back to this point. Let's look at who should we look at next? Let's look at
the difference between the Roman Senate though and our government is the fact that they broke the Senate up technically into two separate houses.
Yeah.
You know, to where it wasn't just the Senate, which was already corrupt, fighting against a Caesar or a king. You know what I'm saying? Where they actually they try in a way. I think they tried to the ones that were trying to do right, because there were founders that were trying to do right by people. I mean, it was authoritarians fighting against anti-authoritarians when all this was being drafted, because there were that's why you got the Federalists and the Anti-Federalists, because there was a huge debate and fight amongst them on how shit was going to be. You know, the Federalists, they wanted to continue on with the way fucking England was doing shit, only do it over here.
Well,
not quite.
But
hold on.
Not as heavy-handed as they were, but along the same lines. That, like you said, they wanted kings. They wanted someone to rule, you know, for their entirety of their life.
They wanted an emperor.
Hold on. I want to give B-Rad his nickname really quick. He said he needs a nickname. He's going to change his name. I think you should change it to Radical Bradlom. That would be hilarious. Carry on.
But the Federalists were keeping true to that Roman inspiration, right? They were just I guess too ahead in their time. They were just too ahead in their time, man. That is the natural progression of America. Every road leads back to that.
I do believe that the First and Second Amendment grant us, the people, a little more power than the typical Roman peasants had. And
that's true.
A little more American nationalism, considering the excessive liberal hedonism that is rising up in our country. A little more American nationalism is a good thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so. Also, you can see it happening in the democratic state.
Anything to an extreme is going to be too overbearing for people to have balance. And the best way to get from point A to B is a straight line. Without balance, we wander off.
What are we balancing, though?
The act.
Our direction and aim. And that's why the First and Second Amendment in the Constitution is a significant benefit that we have over the population in Rome.
Right. So my question to you is, because you say we need balance, right? So I'm assuming you're talking about like political balance, right? You're talking about we need moderates, correct?
Yes.
Okay. My question to you is, do you want to win or do you want to lose? Do you want your country to be swallowed by hedonism and degeneracy and gluttony, or do you want to succeed and have a healthy,
well,
strong,
at this
independent
point,
nation.
What I
kind
want,
of a disingenuous question, anyhow, because nobody's standing up to fight for America at this.
what I
Well,
want. Here's what I want. I want people to understand that we'll have more purpose in our own hearts to see ourselves succeed if we would not waste it to watch another fail. If we put more energy into building ourselves and stop spending money on people who hate us, they're going to destroy themselves. They always have.
but they're going to destroy us too.
Nations fall, man. You might have to just admit that it's over for us.
I won't stop.
Their goal,
I won't.
their
I mean,
goal is to
look.
destroy us.
I don't think so. Yeah,
I don't think it's over for. I don't think it's over. I think that we're going to cycle out of the dollar dominance. I think that's over.
No,
It's
I
past due
think
for being
America
over.
as a whole, the nation that we know, by the end of most of our lifetimes, America as we know now is no longer going to exist. It's going to be broken up.
It's going to fuck around and have a different name.
I wonder how.
You look at European nations, right? Some of the European nations have had their name changed a dozen times over. Most of them.
That's true. That's true.
So this
You
is how
study the borders. The borders have changed hundreds of times.
Yeah,
Europe's been at war for thousands of years, dog.
Yes.
Yeah, and the Europeans, even though they were great militarily, even the greats, eventually have their own downfall and defeat.
After
and that downfall is the world getting off the dollar, but still we're still going to be, I think, even with all this screwed up political shit that's going on right now, we're still going to be the best country in the world. Like, we're not going to
not if we're split in half by China and Russia.
I mean, what is by what
we have to do is we have to concentrate on this side of the world and leave that side of the world alone.
My question that'll never happen as long as we have power hungry authoritarians that are pushing corporate greed and corporate wars overseas.
Yep.
My question is what when we say best, like, that's such an arbitrary statement with no metrics behind it. It's like when people say I don't need money because I'm happy. But they're homeless.
You have to elaborate a little bit more on what you're trying to articulate, Ray.
I'm just saying, like, when we say like this is the best country, like, what is your metric of comparison, and like what are we actually comparing? Because this country, you're allowed to wait. Let me finish. Let me finish. Would you consider a best society a society in which you were allowed to poison its citizens?
No.
Would you consider a best society a society in which our medical system is set up to make said citizens sick?
Okay,
now all the women are walking around half naked.
Dude, you are actually sitting here changing what I was going to say in real time, because we have literally been given the right to be able to criticize our governing officials on platforms like this, thinking that that's freedom, while they're literally trying to kill us with the foods and the medicines and everything else that they feed us.
And then we'll sit here and talk about we're the best. Like, are we?
But the information's out there for you to find, for you to know what not
to do. Okay. You have to realize, all right? You have to realize that you say that it's the government doing this and all that. Yes, but also no, right?
Right. They're just a hand of the people.
They're just a hand of international corporations. They are the hands.
That's what I was about to say.
They are just the hands, right? Because but that
still doesn't take the culpability away from them.
No, it doesn't. But all it really takes is an entire Senate. All it takes is an entire Senate and a president that are all on the same page. That can't be bribed.
Well, we have never seen that in our lifetime.
Never say never, baby. Never say never. Listen, that's the whole point of New Frontier. Okay. The end goal of New Frontier, and I'm not gonna say.
No, dude, I respect what you guys are trying to do, like Ray said. At least you guys are trying to come up with some kind of answer or some kind of.
I think they need to reach out. You need to reach out to all the pissed off black people in Chicago about those illegal immigrants that are taking over the hotels and the schools, and the people are out there. They're out there talking. They're out there. And they
literally,
when things like this come up,
they need to be reached out to before the media can actually get a hold of them and turn it into another George Floyd.
God damn.
No, they're not talking about it like that. They're coming from the
dude, I don't. They may not be talking about it like that, but I want you to understand.
We got a bunch of Democrats.
The media will capitalize off of that, and they will turn that into another summer of love.
We have a bunch of Democrats right now that are coming out and saying, "Hey, we don't want all these illegals in our country because this is America and we pay taxes. We don't want these people in our country that are coming over here. We don't even know who they are." This is what they are saying.
Right,
and they're Democrats.
I get what you're saying.
We gotta strike when the iron's hot. When things like this come up, we have to jump on that opportunity.
You need to strike before already emotionally unstable people are actually and are used for nefarious purposes by the mainstream media, because I'm telling you, they're going to capitalize off of it.
And that's why I'm telling you,
they will take that and they will use it.
That's what I'm telling him, because if he's got an organization going on, dude, this is stuff you got to be doing, bro. I ain't got time to do stuff like this, but I'll money stuff like that. Yeah, I'm okay with it, but I ain't got much time, I give you ideas all day, dude.
The fuck you mean you ain't got time? You've been on this live stream for the last 5 hours.
Yeah, I'm
The problem.
I have multiple computers. I don't have just one computer.
And I'll tell you the main problem with running an organization like this. Okay, it's finding people that actually want to go out and do action.
Yeah, boots on the ground. Actually doing the leg work and the footwork is hard to
actually find. Doing the leg work and the footwork, exactly.
That's why the convention of states.
What are you talking about? Most information's online. I could easily get one of the phone numbers that are on the news.
Rock, you can't do leg work.
We make a video together and we put the video on the internet.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but what would be more impactful? Do you think talking on a live stream to a few hundred people would be impactful, or do you think going out to Chicago and helping out people that have been directly affected by the mass immigration there? Do you think that would
right?
be
Let's dial it down even more than that. Let's make it
I would
personal.
say the video.
Why did you interrupt me, dude? God damn!
Organizational things. I mean, you can't do much on the ground in Chicago because there's nothing out there. Yeah, the people are going to be, dude. You going out there and hanging out a couple turkeys is not going to affect anything. But if you get online and make a video go viral,
let me ask you this, Brock.
Hold up, Brock.
What? Let's make this a personal thing. What is actually going to be more of value to you and actually going to be more of a sway on how you choose and decide something? Say you got 2 mayors running for a mayoral election in your local area. Are you going to vote for the one that's sitting and he's addressing you online via YouTube that way, an impersonal way where he's addressing everyone as a whole in a collective? Like, you guys just don't care. I'm going to hurry up and do this quick little 30-minute ad, and that's all you get. Or the guy that's willing to go out and put his feet on the ground and knock on doors and actually personally introduce himself to you and talk to you personally about what his policies are, what he plans to do, what his ideas are to make the city better. Who are you going to give?
I understand what you're saying. You don't understand what I'm saying, though. Okay,
no, I do understand what you're saying.
You have to start somewhere.
It's already started online. That's what he's saying.
Hold on, you have to get other people that are not affected by the situation that's going on to pay attention to it. So in order to do that in this day and age,
you have to understand how big the movement already is, dude. You're talking about something that you really, I mean, how many guys you guys already got from different states?
We're currently in, I think, 12 states.
So right now is when he's saying he needs people that are willing to do the legwork. They got plenty of people doing the online shit to reach out. They need people out on the street talking to people if they actually, and that's where the grassroots, the actual boots on the ground is where the work is done. And nobody ever wants to do that.
Yes. So we're deploying the building of chapters, right? So I'm building a local chapter up in here in North Dakota. We got North Carolina, Georgia, PA, Ohio, Colorado, Texas.
You might forget Ohio. Ohio's a shithole state, and it's going to end up fucking falling to the commies anyhow.
Damn.
But everyone, hey, listen, listen.
Dude, because I spent most of my life in Ohio. The only thing you're going to find in Ohio is misery, depression, and probation.
And you know what? New Frontier will be that single speck of light. Listen, man, I am in savior mode. I want, when I say I want a New Frontier chapter in every single United States state, I mean every single state. Washington, California, Oregon, every single one. Nevada, every single state. Every single one. Because listen, I'm a nationalist. I love my people. I love all the people, right? If there is a little glimmer of hope that they can try to turn away from their ways, then I'm going to give them that helping hand and try to show them the right path. If they slap that hand away and they don't want help and they're happy in their hedonist, retarded ways, then they have to suffer the consequences of it. But I
almost think that there's a big swath of the population that is way too far gone at this point.
Oh yeah, no, we can't save. You're not going to be able to save everybody.
You can't save everyone.
The deal is though, when you're what he's wanting to do is when you put that glimmer out there, it's like you'll gravitate the people that want to be saved or want to do something about this. I mean, that's kind of important because at worst case scenario, you're going to have a network of people who are of like mind to where like, hey, if we got to rebuild this shit, you know who to like. Hey, we know who to work with.
So you trying to start a whole new Guy Fawkes movement? Never forget, always remember the 5th of November type shit.
I'm trying to start like a grassroots shadow state. That's what New Frontier is supposed to be. Shadow state, pick up where the current government lacks to the best of your ability.
No, but okay, my question is what say that you're able to dismantle what we have now. What do you have to actually implement to immediately replace it? That way the country doesn't completely fall into complete and total disarray and chaos.
What do I have now?
Right.
What do I have currently right now?
Yeah, what ideas or what kind of policies have you guys even discussed? Because that is the one thing that every time people talk about trying to dismantle this authoritarian overreaching government that they lack to actually have any answer for is what are they going to do to re-implement some kind of rule of law to replace the old guard with the new guard before the country falls into complete and total chaos?
So I would keep the governmental system right now, I don't think is a bad system, right? There would be certain laws in place to make the system run better, right? For one president, the president would be either a 10-year term or it would be a lifetime term. But there would be recurrent elections for that president, right? There would just be no limitation on how many times that president could run.
So you would take it back to the way it originally was before FDR.
Yes. So that was how it would be. If a president can continue to run and continue to win, obviously the people want that president.
Now, would you do away with unlimited, lifetime positions in the House and the Senate and put term limits on that?
Yes.
Because to me, that is where most of the power in government lies, is in Congress.
Yes, there would be term limits on them. I would also completely ban super PACs. I would make that straight illegal. I would also make it whoever's running for a position, the cap is $10,000 for everyone.
So let me throw this at you. Say that we were able to implement some kind of collectivism to where we got enough people to rise up together as one well-oiled unit to, basically use their voice to let this government that we have now know that, look, we understand what you're doing. We're doing away with it. Who would you, what would you do with the standing elected officials sitting in Congress at the moment as we speak?
They'd be put to a trial.
Treason. That's what I'm thinking.
So all of them would be actually
Beyond Greyjoy
go to a military tribunal.
Military tribunal. If they are found guilty in the court of law, then
there we go. Now you're talking.
Now, are they going to be sentenced to death as they should be if they're found guilty of treason?
If they're found guilty of treason,
Absolutely.
that's the only punishment. That really is the way it is. I mean, it's not my fault for saying that.
Now, my question too, though. Now let me add another caveat to that. What are you going to do with the family if the family was also a part of whatever nefarious nonsense that they were doing?
Treason is treason.
Treason is treason, but obviously there can be exceptions made for, let's say, I don't know.
No, like for instance, say we got the Joe and Hunter Biden thing, and Biden crime syndicate.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you got a situation like that, or the Nancy Pelosi crime syndicate.
Treason is treason.
How far are we going to take these trials? Are we going to take them all the way down to the children, the grandchildren, everybody that's benefited from their treasonous acts and their overreach and their treachery towards the American people?
Well, that's a slippery slope, because you're saying that somebody who just benefited, if they didn't know, then they did not commit treason.
I'm not talking about children, but I'm talking about very well aware adults. That you ain't going to ever convince me that the people and the adults that are part of the political line in certain prominent families in government aren't well aware of what is going on and how their money is being acquired.
Well, my question is this: if they didn't actually partake in treason, can you try them for treason in a court of law?
I don't think you can. Yeah, I don't think so.
There is a such thing as what is that accessory to a crime, and then there's another one that's even I think it's a felony. It's I can't remember.
So I think from that perspective, I think that if you're taking it back to like, okay, you're an accessory and like, now maybe, I don't know, Bumpkin, tell me what you think about this. Okay, so you're an accessory to treason, but you didn't necessarily know you benefited from it, and right. So like now you got to be removed. Like you can't be a part of politics anymore. Then you're blacklisted. You're out.
Yeah. Well, if you're a felon, you can't vote.
Yep. There you go.
I would also make it so that there'd be a caveat to voting. You have to be proven to pay taxes to vote.
That means if you get an income tax return, folks, you don't get to vote.
Paul.
Wait, what?
Everybody pays taxes of some sort.
Technically, if you get an income tax return,
you're
not paying taxes. You're getting all of your money back that you paid into taxes. So therefore,
no. If you get an income tax return, that means you overpaid. Let's be honest.
No,
that's an overpayment.
No, sir. The majority of most people that get an income tax return are getting all of their tax benefit that they paid in back.
Yep.
What?
But that
I'm not. Yeah. That's bullshit.
That's kind of like what I was going to ask you, Bumpkin. I was going to ask you, what would you do or change in regards to the voting system? Because as we all know, the Democrats and liberals used the pandemic in the 2020 election to get Biden elected in regards to mail-in voting, which many Republicans and Americans were against, but they of course enforced it. How would you handle or keep ways of voting there, Bumpkin?
I mean, he didn't even use any code words or nothing. He went straight to the point.
He went hard.
Well, I mean, it's just it'll be this video. I mean, if they take the channel down, I'll just remake it and I'll just turn into the conservative Daryl Long, and y'all will just see me on a new channel every few days. I'm not stopping.
Yeah, that's essentially the way I am there.
Mail-in ballots changed, so that's nothing bad to say. I mean, how's that bad to say? That's
for one. It's fine, Angel. There's nothing that you did that is out of place. What the people are trying to do against us being able to speak so freely is what's wrong, not you.
It's not you.
Yeah,
it's
but
it's
I
the society.
essentially just wanted Bunkin to understand where I was coming from in full. But can I have him answer my question that I asked him?
Not a problem. I would make all voting IRL, no online voting, nothing like that. I would make it so you'd have to show up with an ID and obviously voting records.
You wouldn't do away with absentee ballots if it was legitimate, would you?
No.
Because absentee ballots, you actually have to solicit your polling place in order to get those, like you would if you actually voted in person.
Yeah. Of course.
As far as voting, would you repeal the 19th? I think that another requirement to be able to vote is that you have to be one of the people to sign up for selective service.
That's extreme, isn't it?
That's the reason why they were able to vote to begin with, is because they thought they were forced to sign up for selective service.
Well, I mean, if you're going from that perspective, like if you're going for like buy-in to this country, like why wouldn't you just put it at like land ownership or marriage?
I would say.
How about one vote per household?
Also,
that too. That works too. But why I go with the tax code is because there are some people. It's like I don't want to be such an authority.
Would you do away with the IRS?
Absolutely.
Then we wouldn't have a tax code anymore.
Oof.
You would get rid of the IRS, then build a new IRS with better systems.
But from what I understand is you're wanting to do away with federal taxes and everything be on a state level.
No, it would be federal tax. There'd be federal taxes.
And how would we delineate these federal taxes?
What do you mean you pay federal taxes now?
As far as how would we sit and designate what our taxes are going to be? I mean, are we going to have an income tax? Are we going to have this ridiculous FICA tax that we're never going to see the fruits of our troubled payments on? Are we going to have Medicaid and Medicare taxes that we're never, there's a lot of taxes that people are taxed on a federal level that really in all essence should be state level programs to begin with, because it'd be a whole lot easier to allocate the funds, and it'd be a whole lot easier for the citizens of the state to force the state to have open and transparent budgets on where these funds are going.
I am open to the idea of a flat federal tax. A flat federal tax.
And how would that be implemented? Would that be implemented on pay, or would that be implemented like a flat federal sales tax on everything?
It would be, it can go either way. I would say based off of income, but since we're working with a completely new nation, I would say that would be late term. I would say early term new nation would be probably a flat federal sales tax.
And my question is before all this would happen, would there already be somebody in mind to take up the reins of commander in chief of our military, to basically be standing in the ready to an election to expedite the process of the country not falling into disarray?
I'll take that job. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Aegon. Of course, if we're talking about New Frontier, of course there would be someone there to take the reins of commander in chief. But
it would be understood that it was just until the people had time to actually vote.
Had time to vote, yes.
Now my other question is too, how would you implement campaigns for when you do have your election process? Would you continue to allow these multi-million and billion-dollar, forced campaigns to where only the wealthy and rich have the opportunity to run for president, or would you actually do away with these over-the-top campaign runs that make it impossible for the common man to run?
Yeah, I addressed that earlier. Mm-hmm. I said super PACs illegal, and there is a cap on how much someone can spend.
Okay, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, I set the cap to $10,000.
Oh shit! So, you could do that. Anybody could come up with $10,000 to run.
Yeah, no one can go over $10,000 on an election. If they are proven to go over $10,000, then guess what? You don't get to be elected.
What would your stance be on lobbying?
Illegal.
All the way across the board.
All the way across the board.
And what would be the punishment if lobbyists were caught lobbying politicians, not just in Capitol Hill, but in state
prison?
Jail, straight to jail.
Straight to prison.
I say get Mo and waterboarded daily.
I don't care. I don't care about that. I'm an advocate for the 3-strike rule when it comes to these certain things.
Bumpkin, can it be it can't be federal prison. It has to be butt-fuck state prison. Like, it got to be bad prison. like it can't be like Club Fed, where it's like a nice ride. It's going to be like, you going to have the softest skin and everyone's going to be tapping, bro.
Fine, whatever. Oh, also,
federal prison needs to get turned into Pelican Bay immediately.
Also, Federal Reserve completely gone, erased. A state.
So, are you going to make money back to centralized state banks?
Yes. Then and we will default on the debt that the old regime had. Who knows what it would be at that point? What are we at, like 20 trillion right now?
I think we're at like 30-some trillion right now.
Right.
Yeah,
I would also create a law. I would actually want it to be constitutionally backed, but I would create a law stating that interest is illegal. You cannot collect interest.
What would your policy be on people that want to run for any kind of political office that is actual a foreign national or citizen of a former enemy state or nation?
No.
Say only
U.S. born
would somebody that claims to be a Syrian refugee be able to come over to America and become a new Ilhan Omar?
No, no. They wouldn't be able to cross the border in the first place. They would never touch American soil.
So would this be a permanent immigration ban, or would it just be something that's put off for a while and you have like an intermittent, like every 5 to 10 years you might allow X number of immigrants to come into the nation?
I think I would put a moratorium on it, and I want to say permanently, but I think we'd have to address the nation after a few generations to see where we're at that point. Because
what would you do about people that come over? Would you allow people to come over here and get school visas and be able to actually utilize our universities for higher learning? Because that would actually, if they're coming over here for that, that's actually helping generate revenue in our economy.
I can say something.
Yeah,
real quick.
I would allow that, but they can't stay permanently. That's just.
I think one of the things that makes America great is that we used to have some of the best people from all over the world that wanted to come here, and that's what made us advance our technology so quickly. So we don't need to completely shut everybody out, but we need to only allow people that have certain credentials and things like that.
Rock, I think what we're getting at right now is, like, with the current state that it's in, we've got to shut things down so that we can sort this shit out amongst ourselves.
Oh yeah,
the issue isn't like keeping everyone out. I don't think that. I think you're 100% correct. We got to get back to a state where we can go, hey, we can let some people in here, but we want the best and brightest, like it used to be. But the issue is we flooded so many bodies into this country.
We don't even know
that
how
don't
many
belong here
are even here at this point.
Facts. Like, we just got people running around, and it's not just. I'm not even going to say from south of the border. We have people who come here. I know for a fact that there's a chick floating around here right now within the dance community that's from Russia that ain't supposed to be here anymore because her visa ran out and she just never fucking left, and she looks like a white person, so they ain't picked her ass up to send her back to where the fuck she belongs.
Well, look, Ray, that's why
and she has an attitude about it.
That's why I made it very clear and made the point that people need to understand that the southern border, even though we have a Congress right now and a legacy media that wants to try and label it as, Mexicans or South Americans that are using that border to become illegals, it's actually worse than that. It's people from all over the globe using the southern border as their entry into America.
And it's not even that. Like, if you look at the people who come over here with visas and then just don't leave, like they just don't leave. Like, and that's across the board. Like, that's the problem. It's like we've allowed and we've made it this thing where we live in fairness, and America's the only place that does this shit, where we just let people just show up and stay and then just start reproducing.
Be allowed to do in their nation.
100%. Like, you can't just go stay in Mexico. They will kick your ass out.
Dude, the federales will put you in fucking prison.
Facts. Like, there's nowhere else on the planet that has done what we've done, and this experiment is not benefiting us at all. As a whole, as a collective.
Interesting. Doesn't Mexico have a southern border wall separating them?
Yes.
Yep.
But yet America is racist if we put up a southern border wall separating them from us and protecting our southern border. You know, why is it all right for every other nation that wants to protect their border to put up some kind of a barrier to prevent people from just flooding in, you know, at every whim? But when America decides to do it, we're racist, we're bigots, we're whatever fucking phobe or ist they want to put on our name.
Yep, Israel's got one. Why can't we? But peace out, y'all. God bless.
Hey, you have a good night, Rock. It was good rocking with you, man. Thanks for stopping through.
It was actually decent having a conversation with you where you weren't getting all fucking bent out of shape, bro.
Oh,
there you go.
This is why we can have nice things, Snowman.
Always screwing shit up.
Take it easy, Rock.
No, I'm messing with y'all.
No, take it easy, brother. We appreciate you.
Oh, and also
we watch YouTube in the building. How's it going?
What's it do?
I'd also add on to the Second Amendment.
What would you add to the Second Amendment? What
can we have bazookas?
Yeah. So I would.
Would you make it? Would you clarify what its intent is?
Yes, firearms.
That way, it's not so fucking. People can't sit and try and put their own little spin or tweak on what they think that it was meant, because we don't use the same kind of lexicon that they used back then.
Yes, I would say firearms. The citizens have a right to own firearms.
And a well-prepared rather than regulated. That way they can't try and force government regulation on militia.
And a well-prepared militia.
And I wouldn't even label a militia. I would label it paramilitary group.
Or paramilitary, yeah.
Because isn't that what they consider militias nowadays, is a paramilitary?
Bro. I mean, they consider them everything. Apparently, all of them are racist. So
that's crazy.
Well, and I think that it would be fair to put a caveat in there that American citizens should not be restricted from possessing any firearm or any kind of weapon of war. If the government has the ability to acquire it, the private citizen should be allowed as well.
Not
and
nukes.
The next, yeah, what? I don't think we should be able to have that.
Not nukes.
Well, except nukes. I will give you that. That's fair.
I don't think we should. I don't think citizens should have chemical weapons either. I'm just going to throw that in there. I don't think they should have any chemical weapons. That's not nice.
I'm not talking about nukes and biological and chemical weapons. I'm talking about if I want to go buy a gunship, if I have the money to do so, I should be able to buy a gunship and park that motherfucker in my front yard.
I think that would be awesome. And I was going to say I'm immediately going and purchasing a tank. So, like, I need to get rich by the time Bumpkin takes over.
You can buy a tank now.
No, I want a working one though. I want the.
He can only buy a decommissioned tank.
I want a commissioned tank.
I would also implement a sort of Boy Scout, a sort of nationalized Boy Scouts. You know, nationalize the Boy Scouts or create a whole other organization if the Boy Scouts
make it a mandatory thing in school for young men.
Mandatory, right? Mandatory,
right?
They would learn survival skills, all of that. Everything a young boy needs to learn.
What do you think about mandatory ROTC for high school kids?
Sure.
Because I think that another thing that should be mandatory is, rather than selective service, I think that every male in this country should be forced to serve at least 2 years in the military.
Wow. That's fair. That's actually very authoritarian of you.
I mean, it is, but here's the thing though.
It gives you a whole new level of respect and understanding for what
gives you structure.
And
this is the issue, though. You would you run the potential of wiping out entire family lines if it's an only child. And
we can make exclusions for if it's the only male. Okay. And he can still serve in the military and go hose down hippies in DC if that's what we need him to do.
Oh, hell yeah.
But he can still get the structure that the military provides.
Gotcha.
Without having to go.
Like the 2 years of military service can be like for the National Guard. It doesn't have to be.
Okay.
But you have to
then that makes sense.
But every man in this nation should go through the boot camp and the training that the military provides, because it does give every man that I've ever met that was a fucking wild lunatic, that when they went to the military and came back, they were a completely, totally different structured person.
Yes. Also, with that Boy Scout program, I would say, here's what I want to do, right? That'd be mandatory. Right. If it's mandatory, then I would want, if it's not, I don't want it to make it mandatory because I want to give a caveat to it, right? I want it to be a selective thing for the Boy Scouts, right? I want it to be selective. I want it to be a choice, but I want it to be a choice for a reason. I would say that everyone else is grandfathered in for this, right? But newer generations growing up, it's a selective thing that if you choose to go into it, in your younger years going up through high school, that when you reach adulthood, you will be able to own fully automatic weapons.
Without a tax stamp?
Without a tax stamp.
Let me ask you this. What would your policies be as far as titling of property and vehicles and licenses, as far as the whole licensing liberties and shit like that, fishing license, hunting license, driving license?
It would all be free.
Now, would you still be on board for if you're doing your driving licenses for work or corporate work, like your CDL, and you're using it as your means to make money? Would you still force them to have to get a license and cover insurance as per the law is supposed to be now?
Yes, but here's the thing, right? For the CDL drivers, so here's my thought process. When it comes to driver's licenses and stuff, right, you are forced as a citizen by the governmental system to get a driver's license to operate a motor vehicle on roads, right? You are forced to do that. Therefore, since they're making the claim that you are forced to do that, you should not have to pay for driver licenses. You should not have to pay for it. You should not have to have a dime to do it, because it is a license that they are requiring you to have.
You should only be forced to take a test to prove that you're competent.
You should only be forced to take a test to prove that you are competent, and that test should be free. So should the written test should be free, and so should the actual driver's test should be free. You should not have to pay out of pocket for that whatsoever.
Now I enjoy this conversation because this is throwing out productive ideas of ways to fix things.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I actually prefer hearing and having these kind of conversations rather than listening to people sit and bitch about Ukraine.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because bitching about Ukraine, for one, isn't fixing anything. 2, isn't doing anything. 3, all you're doing is directing all your energy towards someone else, and it's not directed towards the problems here at home.
Yep. Slavs have been killing Slavs for generations, man. I don't really care at this point.
And until we get this shit under wraps, we're going to continue to have government officials that steal our wealth and give it to other nations so they can continue to kill each other.
Facts. Big facts.
Big facts.
Okay.
See, I'm not completely unreasonable, Bumpkin.
Well, no, what you got to do is you just got to keep him up way past his bedtime, and when he gets exhausted, he doesn't have the energy to be a dick.
Shut the fuck up. Well, no, see, the thing is I practice what I preach, and I am capable of meeting in the middle, and compromising. And that's the biggest problem with most people in America is they're unwilling to compromise on any level. It's got to be all or nothing.
Also true.
I do nothing but compromise, man. Well, okay, I shouldn't say it like that. I have to compromise with a lot of people.
Dude, I've been compromising on not commenting on that neck beard.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Bro, he says shave your throat.
I'm sorry, man. It just gets it grows really fast.
In all the wrong places.
What do you
Lord.
mean? What do you mean? It's not even next year.
Dude, you look like you're part Amish.
You look like a hillbilly.
That's how wholesome he is. Leave him
Hey, you know
alone.
what the thing is I will accept that. I am a hillbilly. I was born in Kentucky.
I was born in Washington.
You know, probably about
If you
100 miles.
was born in Kentucky, hillbilly should be on your ID.
It should, man. It should. It absolutely should. Hillbilly, inbred, and honky, all right there on my ID.
Oh my God, y'all ain't right. Y'all are not right.
But
See, that's what I've been trying to tell you, Reckless. There ain't shit that anybody can say to white people that's going to piss them off. There really isn't. There is no slander that'll make us mad.
Hey, bro. Yeah, I know one.
go for it.
All right, check it out, bro. This is at 3 a.m. Fucking, I'm exhausted and delirious, but check this out.
You better come with something correct.
Free shit for immigrants, bro.
That ain't a slander towards me.
It makes you mad.
Are you becoming lethargic?
Yes, I'm fucking sleepy, dude. And now
Hey, you know what?
I'm just
Ray.
What?
You know what the NAACP stands for?
What?
Niggas always asking crackers for permission.
Bruh. Oh Lord.
No, that ain't
Somebody
right.
told me that
yesterday.
yesterday.
In there, and it is an NAACFP.
God damn it. See, and now you're gonna get all technical. That's semantics.
I gotta pretend like I got a job, man.
So do I. It's a tough business, dude, because people think I'm just some bum that sits at home and plays Call of Duty all day long and YouTubes and lets my kids run feral while I force my pregnant wife to go to work and take care of me.
And you dig hot Cheeto dust out of your belly button after you're done masturbating.
God damn.
Don't let me get sleepy. It just gets worse. It just gets worse.
Don't even blame this shit on you being sleepy. This is like, dude, what you're doing right now is what a drunk does when he's drank too much. Now your real feelings and the real Ray's coming out.
Oh my God. No, I was just adding on to your story. I'm wholesome too. Look at Bumpkin. Like Bumpkin is just like Bumpkin's gonna have like a hard cutoff. He's gonna start stopping by my stream and be like, "Bro, it's past 1 o'clock. You need to go to bed."
Well, dude, I've been streaming since fucking 2 o'clock this afternoon. I went from my stream to your stream to your second stream.
Well, dude, I was on Israel. I was on Israel's stream. For like
that's because I'm not good enough for you to stop by my stream.
No, he started his stream.
I guess
his
I'm too
stream
for your black ass.
No, shut your mouth. Started his stream at like 10 this morning or some shit like that.
That means
so
you had plenty of time on Iz's panel, and you could have came over and paid.
I didn't catch it until like 2. I didn't catch it until like 1 or 2. I didn't catch it until like 1. It was before your stream because when I asked, I specifically click on the live to see who's live, and you always show up. So you weren't streaming when I got on his panel.
The first time I've went live in a week and a half.
If you are live and I look to see who's live when I'm checking to see who's live to go on a panel,
you see how
you show up at the top of the list because I know
you. Good one, Ray. You missed a good
one. He feels like he's being interrogated right now.
No, I'm not being interrogated. Do you want me to? I'll turn the light on.
I'll waterboard you with words.
Where was I earlier today? I was at the park. Okay. And I worked out. All right, that's where I was. And then I got on
these statements.
Hey man, there's a white girl on roller skates there.
Yes. Verify these statements.
No. Do I have to hold the light closer now?
I would also ban dual citizenships. By the way,
hey, y'all could always
Bumpkin. How am I gonna do? Bro, we're about to kill this shit because like we're about to go.
I'm
no duels.
About 30 seconds.
No dual citizenship. Blumpkin said it. He said, "I can't leave. I either got to be on his team and his team alone."
Well, no, you can.
You are a selfish god, Blumpkin.
you can have a dual citizenship.
Tell me that's some authoritarian shit.
But if you have one, you just can't run for any political office.
What would you do about people that were born? What would you do about Americans that were born out of the country via their parents being in the military?
The military bases are American soils.
That's American soil. They're American citizens.
Yep.
But most people. Well, what I'm saying is most of those kids that are born out of the country because their parents are military have dual citizenship to whatever country they were born in.
Yeah, fuck that shit. That shouldn't be a thing. That's American soil where those bases are.
But those bases are still on even though the top soil is American soil, what's underneath that is still that country's soil.
They could fucking fight us for it. What are they gonna do?
I love
so he's wanting to turn into China, Russia, and Saudi Arabia all in one.
3 a.m. bumpkin's my favorite bumpkin.
Well, it's just like sometimes you just gotta realize.
Hey Ray.
Sometimes you just got to take the bull by the horns and say, fuck it.
Ray, I got to get out of here, man.
Sometimes you do. Sometimes.
All right, later, Reese. Thanks for rocking out.
Hold up. I want to go out with a prayer, though. Okay?
Uh-oh. Okay.
So, I want you guys to bow your heads in prayer with me before I exit.
I swear to God,
Ready?
This is about to be fucked up. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Dear God, you have until 12 noon tomorrow to make this a perfect world. And if you do not meet this demand by the proposed deadline, we have your son. That's right. We have your son. Skin of brass, hair like wool, and tall as hell. In fact, he is dangling between my legs right now.
Holy shit.
What will happen if you do not meet these demands is I will repeatedly beat your son profusely until he cries. Amen.
That is the craziest, man.
Oh, good night, fellas.
Hey, take it easy, Reese, man. I wouldn't expect anything else from you.
No. I knew that was going to be fucked. I knew it was going to be some fuck
dude, I knew that was going to be a whole bowl of fuck shit.
It's okay, guys, man. It's okay. They already tried.
Oh, Rich the beer guzzler said amen. Oh God, man! See, this is this. Yeah, everybody.
You guys are going to cause me to be fucking. This blasphemy is going to cause me to get banned to hell.
Oh, also,
I mean, all you. Oh,
First Amendment. I'd add a stipulation to the First Amendment. Yeah, pornography is not covered by freedom of expression.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, go look at your fucking titties, sodomite.
It's obscenity.
Dude, I should be entitled to beat my fucking one-eyed Willie if I want. That's my business, not yours.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm sorry, buddy, but children are looking at it. Have you seen the effect it has on children?
Maybe you need to start putting parents on the fucking chopping block and making them actually parent their kids.
Oh, no.
But how would you do that? You'd have to use the state, and you don't like using the state. So.
Hey, dude, I have no problem with using the state to get people in line.
Really?
Absolutely, dude. Dude, you think that I don't understand that in order for there to be civilized nation, a civilized society, that there's got to be law and order? And then in order for there to be law and order, there's got to be somebody willing to enforce this law and order. Only thing I suggest is that it doesn't have to be authoritarian and Nazi in nature to where you're giving these police like the right to go out and just do whatever the fuck they want as they see fit.
That's not even like.
Damn, that escalated quickly.
I'm not getting into the. Let's not get into the Nazism shit.
Hey, dude, you asked, I responded.
For one, that's not how it operated.
That is exactly how it operates.
That is not how it operates.
That is exactly how it operates. They had special suits.
That is not how it operates.
It is exactly how it operates today. Everything is at the officer's discretion, sir, and they have qualified immunity protecting them from violating people's constitutional rights.
Yeah.
They don't have special suits.
That's because they're not modern day superheroes.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'm just saying those other dudes had special suits.
What do you mean, talking about the SS guys?
Yep. Special suits.
They weren't special suits. They're just fly as fuck.
They were designer. Those are special suits.
They were just Listen, man, when your secret police are rolling out and Hugo Boss, it's like, oh fuck, here we go. It's just like war crimes are going to be committed. Jesus.
I feel like, is that designer? Oh, this is about to get bad.
It's about to get bad.
Hey, dude, I'm about to bounce out because I'm tired too. But share my screen real quick.
Okay, hold on, I got you. Hold on.
This is all I got to say, and then I'm bouncing, folks.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, he sounds sexier than he looks. The only reason any of us ever got laid is because he didn't get there first. For your auditory pleasure, don't look at him because you'll lose your erection. Put your hands together for Chuck Not So Black.
And I'm out.
I love it. Oh, okay. Oh, this was great, y'all.
I actually wanted to say something a few minutes ago, but I didn't want to interrupt rudely at all. But I am pretty much headed out myself. But one last thing I want to say, happy to have been up here for the first time with you, Ray. And I know Snowman knows me pretty well. And I think we've been on Snowman's panel before, but just never been here on yours. But the thing I was actually going to say is regardless what services I was in and all that due to my dad thinking it was the best option at the time when I was younger, if I would have fought the court system as I did in 2018 for restoration of me being my own guardian / independent person there, I wouldn't be where I'm at technically today there because all the restrictions my guardianship had once had over me, as I mentioned. But my dad obviously wants to have me be put back in the whole system. If I didn't do what I did, I wouldn't be the free man and free independent person as I am now, and I still would be in the whole entire system where I wouldn't have been able to purchase the house as I have had for almost 2 years now, and everything I've accomplished in the short 4.5 years since my independence was given to me.
Well, I'm happy that you're here rocking out with us, and if you wouldn't have made those moves and fought for your independence, which is what we all should be doing, then we might not be sitting here having this conversation in this fashion. So that's very, very commendable. It's good on you. Everybody should have that zeal to strive to be the most that they can, and that's one of those things that I always drive home for people. It's like you can do just enough or you can do the most that you can. And normally doing the most that you can requires you to fight some very hard battles and go through some very hard times. And, it's not easy. And there's not a lot of people that have the ability to fight that fight. It's hard. It's not easy.
Yeah. And it wasn't easy during the whole court process. It took like 8 or 9 months from May of 2018 to January 2nd of 2019 there, the day after New Year's Day there, to get the court to rule in my favor of getting my independence. And I still had stuff struggling up in the first few years here when I moved to Arizona later on in the summer of 2019. It never was easy, but at the same time, I made every stride, every well-being in my body to make it happen. And are there things I know that will be challenging down the road that will be not as achievable? Yeah, like whether it's like me applying to be on a game show, I may not get the call within the first application, but as long as I keep on submitting my application, I may get the call back during the time of the game show run, whether it's a daytime or nighttime type of program, or if I was into some work my way up in the jobs I have with the way that I am, it's more hard for me to learn things as easy versus some people do, and it's going to be a challenging road up ahead. But I'm knowing what I'm needing to do to make everything happen, and that's what lot of people forget there, Ray, is they never think the preventions or like the stuff that is like going to be down the road that they would have to go through. They don't think the process of advancement, if you know what I mean, to thoroughly think things through. Like when I knew of getting a house, I wasn't going to find one on the first looking on a realtor agent website, and it took me a couple searches to find the proper one, and it took like a little bit of timing for the whole dealing to thoroughly get through and paid for to become the homeowner that I am. So everything is a challenge for me, but I'm all about facing it. And of course, I wouldn't take no challenge I feel is dangerous. That isn't with in my well-being of knowing what I want to achieve. And some people may try to challenge me to risk my own life. I'm not that dumb. I know my prevention, but at the same time, it's like you said, we all deal with our challenges, but it's all a matter of how we get through it.
Yes. Agreed. What's going on? What's going on, Jim? You catching me right before bedtime, man. What you got to say?
I hope you have a great night, Brad. I love you, man, and I'll come back again next time.
Absolutely, Angel. You're always welcome up here, brother. And I appreciate you and I respect you. You've done a bunch. You've done a lot more than most people, and I that makes me so proud. And I'm so happy for you that you were resilient, and you're evolving, and you're doing everything that you can do, and I love that for you. I love it.
Thank you. Well, you have a great night, Ray. I'll see you again next time. Have a great Friday. Angel. Bye.
Bye,
Angel.
Jim, what you got for me?
He's a good dude. I want to sign out.
Yeah, he's solid.
I just
want
to say real quick, if we go over my temperament later, if I go over that later with Snowman, I'd like you to try and join us if the timing's right for you.
Just make sure that Snowman sends me a text and gives me a little bit of a notice, and I'll try to make it over there, bro.
All right. I'm not sure what he's wanting to do with it, but I'm
as long as he's if he's gonna do like a reaction or something, just have him let me know. Like I'll be able to tap in at least for a little bit.
Yeah, I at this point don't really even know exactly what he's looking at, but I do believe he'll get with me about it before he does much.
Okay.
But
yeah, I'm definitely down to come over and have that conversation. Oh, absolutely, Cybertoxin. You have a good one, bro. All right, Jim, it's me and you. What's going on, man? How you doing?
How are you? I just missed Bumpkin. I'm his regular. I sort of follow him.
Oh yeah, no, I love Bumpkin.
I defend him occasionally. I'm from Australia, Sydney, Australia.
That's awesome.
Don't hold it against me. Don't kill me, please.
No, I got no beef with Australia. I mean, nobody who's Australian's ever done anything to me. So
no. I said because I said I'm a lawyer. Don't kill me because I'm a lawyer. You know, I'm just being.
Well, I mean, that means you're doing well in Australia. I was like, my point of reference in Australia is Crocodile Dundee, and y'all having the scariest creatures on the planet. Like, it's crazy. Everything there's trying to kill you at all times.
well, that's true, yeah. But anyway, I enjoyed the stream. I was in and out, and I missed Bumpkin. I don't know what happened. He just left. He fell asleep.
Well, no. We were all getting ready to, because the thing was, I wanted to make sure. Oh no. Well, I was just going to explain. The thing was, Mike Rage was up, and I really wanted Bumpkin to be able to talk to him. And I'm just going to have to okay it with Mike to like put those two in contact, because realistically, like, I like facilitating a space and letting them come over here and rock out whenever I can, because I believe that what they're trying to do is commendable. So I kind of let them have a different space besides their channel to kind of answer questions whenever the opportunity comes up. But I like talking.
I sponsor Bumpkin. I give him a few shekels.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, right. And so, like, when I ran across him, like, we had a little bit of a contentious first couple of interactions. Yes.
Is it really? What
and
happened? I don't know. He didn't tell me. I'll ask him.
No, it wasn't anything bad. It was just like other panelists like to pit us against each other because, like, I think I get misaged all the time. So everyone thinks me and Bumpkin are roughly like in the same age group. So they're like, "Oh, Ray, you're really aggressive. Like, fight with Bumpkin." And I'm like, I don't want to fight with him necessarily. Like, if I don't have a reason to. And I actually found out about his the New Frontier deal, and I started looking into it, and I was like, "This is interesting." So I was like, "Let's have a actual conversation." And it's easier to facilitate those on my show because I'm in control over here. So I'm like, cool. Like we'll take away the edge of like people trying to goad people into fighting each other. And, you know, I got to talk to him, and I got to talk to Muslim guy who hangs out over there a lot with him. And I've gotten to talk, and
Andre is the other guy.
Yes. And then I've gotten to talk to Andre, and after I got to talk to them, I was like, I don't necessarily disagree with any of these things. So I like having them be able to come into a space where they know that there's people who are going to go, "Hey, I'm going to take up for you, even though I'm not a part of your deal. But I want you to be able to get your ideas out and be able to have those conversations." And so that's kind of the space that I've created over here, is where I can bring people from all over the place. And like, you'll notice one of the things that I pride myself on is none of my friends that I've made in these YouTube streets, a lot of them don't like each other, but they all like me. So
good on you. I don't know. There's another channel called Fight Club, and they're very confrontational.
Very.
Are you aware of it?
Oh, I when I first found the
I actually appeared on very provocative. I appeared on there on purpose, and I started agitating, trolling. All right, just a bit trolling.
Yeah.
And then that one lady, I think, paid $20 or $30 to get me kicked out for 10, 15 minutes and all that.
Yep.
But I was trying to be sort of, provocative and all that. But
I don't ever go over there. I've never been over. I've watched it. I've never participated because it's just not my.
It's a money-making venture, I think.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Oh my goodness, it is. And you know what? If you can garner a crowd over there, people have blown up channels off that. It's just I don't want to talk to those people. Like I honestly don't. I'm like, if that's where your head's at, then like we can't have conversation. Well, not you, but I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't want to go over there to like get people over to my channel because I'm like, I don't want to fucking talk to those people.
The funny thing is, everyone talks at the same time, and if they say, "Right, Jim, have your go," you can only talk for about 3 seconds, and if you don't get your message across within 3 seconds, you get 15, 10, or whatever, 9 people jumping on you. And I find that hilarious. I just said, "Oh God, here we go." But anyway, it was. That's right. Yeah. I kicked him off a Fight Club. There you are. Youngblood City.
So Youngblood watches Fight Club and apparently kicked you off.
He's the one who kicked me off.
Oh my goodness!
And there's all these derogatory terms which is unnecessary. I mean, I've my background. People don't know. I've got 4 kids. I'm a grandfather. I've got 3 boys. I've got a girl married to 2 boys. She's a criminologist. I'm a lawyer. My wife's a lawyer. She works for legal aid. I've got a son, a doctor in London. He lives in London. He's got a fiance. I've got another one and 2 boys here. So I've got 3 boys and 1 girl. And reasonably educated, but I'm enjoying listening to the younger generation. Makes me feel like I'm rejuvenated.
Well, Jim, you don't want to listen to the younger generation over on Fight Club because them dudes ain't accomplishing shit. I know. You don't want to be over there. I know what you're saying, don't listen to those generation. Like you gotta listen to us. You gotta listen to Bumpkin. You gotta come over and rock out with us. Like, because the thing is, it's like. And that's the other thing that I don't like about that channel. Like, first of all, whenever any white people are on that channel, they're on some bullshit. They really get on you. Right. But the other thing that they do over there that I absolutely detest is it just shows a bunch of black people that are unable to communicate. And I'm like, that doesn't make us as a culture look better or smart or good. You're not showcasing our intelligence. You're showcasing that even in a space where you're in a little box on the internet, you're still on some fuck shit. Like, I don't like that. Like, it's just not, it's not what I'm about. Like, I can get on panels and I enjoy a healthy debate, but like, they're not trying to better themselves. So they're entering into every argument looking for an I gotcha, or I'm going to make you look stupid so that I can get some clout.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
Like, it's not productive. And so I'm like, if you're going to argue with somebody, you should both be able to walk away and be like, either I learned something or I'm better for having that conversation.
One thing which I've noticed also about America, I don't know, I've got a few degrees. I've got, of course, a law degree. I'm still practicing. The other thing is, what does it say?
It says, first rule of Fight Club, you don't talk about Fight Club.
All right. It's taken from the movie, all right.
Right.
Oh, that's going back many years. But anyway, from a foreign, from an Australian perspective, the precarious situation of American politics at the moment, it's disaster.
I mean, our government doesn't represent us at all. All.
Both parties. I'm talking about.
Yeah. We have no representation at all.
You've got that DeSantis guy. I mean, he paid homage to Israel. He cried at the wall. Then you had Trump 4 years ago go to Jerusalem, cry at the wall, and moving the. I mean, it's. I'm sorry. What I'm trying to say is, unfortunately, as I see it, America is like in 3rd or 4th century ancient Rome. It's in decadent disaster empire disintegrating, and we've got a big problem here in Australia with China in terms of Taiwan, in terms of geopolitics, and American influence is losing big time. Unfortunately, and we are just 27 million. America's got 330 million. You're a superpower, nuclear power. And, it's scary for us particularly. But for America also.
No, I mean, it's 100%. I mean, the issue is America's fighting a Cold War financially with its people that has been actively poisoning, giving us bad health, and then also starting shit with everyone outside of America too. So I'm just like, I don't understand. I can't see as somebody who lives here what the logistical end game of this is. Post the internet where everyone has access to information, and a bunch of us daily are waking up going, wait a minute, these guys are trying to fuck us too. Like,
my take on it is America is run by the managerial companies, multinational companies. So you got your Republican and Democrat, they're one and the same thing. They're just puppets of the big oligarchs, so to speak. Bezos, Soros, Gates, and so forth. And they are running the show, basically. That's my take on it. I could be wrong.
I mean, definitely with Soros. I mean, that dude literally hates humanity. Like, and is super duper old and just living off of like kindergartner hearts or something. Like,
frightening.
But yeah,
I'll tell you what my background is. I'm a traditional Catholic, of course. So I don't know, pre-Vatican II. I don't know what your religion is, but I don't ram my religion down anyone's throat, and I'm proud what I am and my European heritage, as you should be. And America was founded by white and black slavery, and what's happening in America now, the blacks and the whites, the middle class, are being decimated.
Yep, 100%.
Decimated. That's how I see it. And we're not any better either in Australia.
Oh, no, it's
following in the footsteps of the big brother, which is you, America.
Yeah, I mean, it's the thing is, this is so far beyond. You look at the vernacular that they use here is one of the things that I think is really big. That and our infighting, because they have the peasants fighting each other. We're separated on so many levels. But
race.
Yeah, being a big one. Oh, I mean, it's agitating and But the issue is, and this is like realistically been my take on America since the beginning. Like, this is a cursed land. We built this land on bad seeds. We built it on a false pretense. We made a bill of goods after the fact that we were never intended to deliver on everyone. Like, if you look at the history of America, like the whole concept of whiteness here is just ridiculous. But we made it. We made it. We wanted to classify a group of people as less than human, so that way we didn't have to feel bad about it. And then we never made it right. We never made it right. Like, we're still living out this stupid argument moving forward. And it's like, I don't necessarily think that America needs to reparate me anything, because I'm better at this than most of the people who this system was supposed to benefit. But the premise of if you plant a field with bad seed, and then that field continues to grow, we're like over 100 years into this. You're going to have the after effects of that. And then, I mean, after post-slavery, the stuff that they did to the black community. And then they want to go after the fact. Why can't you just bootstrap and make your stuff better? It's like, well, you actively killed all the smart people for the most part. Well, that's a first issue. Most crimes are committed out of poverty. We specifically targeted a group to make them the lowest common denominator and impoverished. And then wondered why they were criminals. I'm like, that's literally the starter pack for being a criminal, is to not have money. Like, exactly. So, and when you're looking at the effects of what you have in modern times, and I'm not a person who wants to blame slavery for everything, but like, if you look at the things that have happened both with slavery and systemically, and then go, well, fast forward generations of people living through this, or we put them in a position where they've lived in squalor. Like, I was talking about it earlier today on the show. Like, I came from a neighborhood where the only other successful person that I met that came from the neighborhood that I grew up in was a man that was probably about your age. That was the only other one. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like my family, but like I know. I'm just saying. I'm like, you know, like, I gotta give you your level of respect. I'm figuring you're at least a few years my senior. This guy was old enough to have definitely been my dad.
Well, I'm 58, 59 now.
Okay, so see there, yeah. So he was about your age. That was a good call on my part. I was like, you look like you're about old enough to be my dad. So, but like, he was the only other person that I've ever met that came from that exact same neighborhood that isn't in my family, because we all lived down there at some point. That's successful. But my family specifically, we moved away from there as soon as we could. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like that was a house of last resort. So like, everybody, if you were on hard times or whatever, or you were transitioning to another house, you just lived there for a little bit. But those are the issues that we have. Like, this isn't like some new thing, like, oh, America just got like this. Like, we started off tainted, and then that tainted plant has grown. And now that we're becoming an adult, like, it's just like a child that experiences some grievous trauma growing up. And then you're like, oh, geez, this kid's like, this adult now is a little bit off. Like, he's a little bit not right. Like, well, yeah, like, he had some stuff happen to him when he was a kid, and like, we never fixed it. And we haven't fixed our issue. So America, we have never been in a situation where we were in lockstep or aligned or in unison. The last time that we got along was 9/11. That's the last time. And then it's devolved from there.
George W. Bush.
Right. Well, I mean, it's because of what happened. We got attacked, and we were like, "Oh, somebody's coming to check on us." Okay, hold up a second. We gotta stop fighting each other. We gotta go fight these other guys.
Yeah. But listen, what about the so-called weapons of mass destruction? I don't want to be a conspiratorial theorist, as they say.
I mean, I don't think it's a conspiracy if they didn't find anything.
There was nothing there. There was no burger.
Right.
And just look at it. Again, I'm being critical. I love America. I'm sort of a American buff, but I have to be critical as an outsider. I don't know how you're going to take it. But since Second World War, you find America in Korea up to 1950, 52. Then you get America in Vietnam. Then you get America in Guatemala. Then you get America in Chile, knocking off Allende. Then you get America in Panama. Then you get America in Middle East. You know, our greatest ally. Our greatest ally.
Right.
All right. And you're paying, you as a taxpayer, as an American, $20 billion plus per annum.
Yep.
I don't know why. There's no demonstration. No one's questioning.
No, and well, that was what I was going to say. I was like, it's the vernacular that we use, because if you watch American media, the way that they frame it, it's the way that they frame it. They go, the government, this is government spending. They don't say, hey, you American citizen, this is your money, and we're just we're pissing away on everything besides you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody, like, you see people, like, I was on a panel with a woman who was explaining to me, because, like, we were talking about, it was in the back chat of the panel, but we were talking about immigration and how the immigrants are treated here, and they'll put them in places and give them resources that they would never give to the people who live here. They just don't. They just don't. But she was explaining, she was like, yeah, you know, I actually experienced that. Like, I lived in this neighborhood, and she was with her ex, and they lived there, and across the street there were some immigrants, and the government put them up in a house, helped them buy that house, helped them pay for it, and then they were sitting there like hustling, struggling to pay for their stuff, and these people are just getting money given to them. And I was like, you need to understand that. And I had to correct her. I was like, that wasn't the government that paid for that. Our government doesn't make money. That was your money. You were living across the street, working your ass off, paying for the people who lived across the street, that the government decided your money was a good use to pay for them to have a house, to give them a house they would never give you.
That's what's happening in Australia. You're talking about Australia. I'm in Sydney, and that's what's happening here. Exactly the same.
Yeah, no. I mean, you guys need to put it. I mean, I don't know how. Like, at this point, our government's so screwed up. I don't know how we fix it, but I'll tell you how screwed up it is. It's so screwed up that white people and black people are starting to talk again. It's so messed up here.
Except the Fight Club. All right.
Right. Except the Fight Club. But I'm telling you, it's so bad that, like, you're having to sit down and have conversations with people that you were told were racist. Because you're like, hey, or like, I know that you're not supposed to like me, but, like, is this how this shit's supposed to work? Like, and they're just like, no, this isn't how this is supposed to work, and we need to do something about it. And you're like, okay, because I was kind of thinking the same thing. So the issue is they're pushing this needle so far that the people that they wanted to fight each other have become so uncomfortable that now we're having to talk to each other. Like, it's just like, am I crazy? Like, do I have to admit that this kid's thinks he's a toaster? Do I have to say that he's a toaster? Is this weird? Like, is it okay that they're paying for the person? I pay for my house, but, like, the person across the street got given a freaking house that I'm also paying for because I pay taxes? Do we want to give our money to these outside countries while we aren't fixing stuff or taking care of our veterans that we're sending to go fight and get messed up in these countries here? Like, none of this is right, and none of it makes sense, and it's not making sense to the tune that you have no other choice but to admit that it's evil.
And talking about evil, as a Catholic, I definitely believe in evil. Believe me.
100%. And what they're doing is evil. Like, when they're bringing immigrants in, and you're treating immigrants better than the citizens of your civilization, that is not pro the civilization. You're not pro the people that you have a duty to serve and protect. That inherently is evil. Then, like, there's no other way to look at that. Like, it has to be, because it's definitely not by definition good.
My understanding, Kamala Harris hasn't been to the border, I think, once.
No.
And she's supposed to be in charge of your southern borders with Mexico. And it's not the Mexicans who are coming through. I'm talking about the cartel. I mean, I see it on the news all the time. And other foreigners from Middle East, Afghanistan, all over the George.
And drugs.
And drugs. Oh, the drugs. Fentanyl and all that. It's just horrendous.
And the thing that's really crazy is, like, that is coming over. It's being manufactured in China. They're sending it over through our southern border.
Mm.
And the thing that's interesting with fentanyl was this drug never started in a poor black neighborhood. It started in rich white neighborhoods. Like my girlfriend, she's lit, her specialty is drug addiction. And so she's worked and she's like, these are the wealthiest families. Their kids are ODing and dying or being messed up or becoming addicted to this drug specifically. And I'm like, so it's only, and she was like, anytime you bring up, if you say the word fentanyl around her, she's immediately going to be like, it's a white person who sold it to him. Like, she's like, nobody else messes with these drugs, but that's because it's targeted. If China's sending it in, you don't destabilize a country from the bottom. Like, China knows how they treat black people. Our government has already released drugs into our neighborhoods and created a drug problem for everybody anyway.
Absolutely.
They literally are going towards the head of the snake and going, we're gonna come after your kids.
Exactly. White kids are dying like flies, I think.
100%. And that's because that's the demographic they're doing it to. Yeah, and I'm like, they're targeting your children. They're targeting what they're positing as future leaders. Also, because generally speaking, your upper class, they produce most of the leaders. They come from the upper crust, right? Well, what happens
Ivy League, Princeton, Harvard, Yale, and all that. Yeah.
And so what happens when they're drug riddled addicts? You've eliminated. You play this out long enough. Now you have no leaders. Like, you're not producing no more leaders. These people are all jacked up or dead. Like, and then they're going. But the thing is, and this is the thing that I don't think China understands about the United States, is like, there's talent all throughout the classes of the United States. It's just those of us who are lower class, we either have to work our way up to where we can participate in those high level games, or actually, I mean, basically that's it, because most of those people, most of our candidates come from upper class. Like, it's kind of like a class thing, and you got to work but the issue is we have the mobility to move classes if we're willing to put in the work. But the what's going on here and what's happening with our southern border, like, this is by design. The cartel has an office on our side of the southern border that we let them have. Like, we haven't dropped a drone missile on it, nothing. It's just sitting there, and they're open for business every day, doing what they got to do. And our government allows that, which is why I say this government does not serve or represent our people any longer. We are positive with options. We go through the process, but at the end of the day, if you look at the results and you look at the actions, it's just like what they say in the red pill. The message is the medium. If we're voting these people in and we're not getting the results that we want, they're literally saying, fuck you, you don't represent us. Look at what happened with the Democrats when they put Hillary Clinton up against Trump, when everybody in the Democratic Party wanted Bernie. And they said, no, we paid for this. You will take what we tell you. And then it became, well, if you don't vote for the person who we told you that you didn't want, but we picked for you, you're a racist. That guy's racist. That's their running play. Like, they're not even making logical arguments. It's not about policy. It's like, don't vote for him or you're a bad person.
What about, can I sort of mention, say, Al Sharpton? How is he viewed by he's part of the elite.
He's part of the elite. He's a grifter. He shows up when bad stuff happens to black people and collects money.
That's what I thought.
They keep these people there to stoke the fires. And like, this is the other issue that we have, and a lot of countries have. It's that people are not looking to themselves as agents of their own agency. They're going, oh, we need to have a leader. A lot of people want to put that responsibility on one central figure so that your government can come in, take that guy out, and then you're back where you started or feeling defeated. Within the black community, our government, which doesn't serve us, picks our leaders. And then we do not question that for some odd reason until, now you're probably going to see it more because race peddling, like these younger cats, dude, like race is not an issue for them. Like they're dating whoever they want to date. Everybody's getting on, moving on with their lives. It's just a certain age group forward are the only people that this is a conversation for. Because when I look, and I live in a place where it's, you know, it wasn't normal. Like, it wasn't normal that you'd see a black guy dating a white chick. Like, my girlfriend's white. Like, if no one cares.
No problem.
When I look at these younger people, really no one cared. Like, when I was in school and I was in high school, that was like a weird thing. They were like, "Oh, like, why are you hanging out with her?" Like, that's awkward. Like, what, this is so, like, now the kids don't care. Like, they're just they're getting on. Like, they're doing what they want to do, and there's not a stigmatism. Generally speaking, you're dating within your class, and you know, like, they're about the same income level, about the same social status. Like, it's just cool. Like, this is the person I'm rocking with.
It's becoming the norm. I understand that.
Yeah. And so that's not an issue. The issue, so like, that game might not work as effectively with them. Like, I don't think those kids look at an Al Sharpton showing up to cry about the latest person who's gotten into a situation with the police and died. I don't think that they're viewing that the same way that people my age and older viewed it. Like, they're not running around constantly going, "Oh, well, the white man's going to come take everything." Like, I'm like, there's no boogeyman that's doing this. Like, there's a government entity and you're watching them do you harm and disservice. And if you actually start looking at what's going on, that's what it is. Like, I've never encountered a white person in this country that was racist to me, that was in a better position than I was. And I was raised to not give a fuck what poor people think. So, like, racism and words do not really affect me that much. Like, I'm just like, what are you going to do?
Doesn't it boil down to a certain amount of education? The less educated you are. I mean, I'm talking about Australia. I know there are ghettos, or they're called hoods in America, as I understand.
Yes.
I'll tell you a funny story. One of my mates, I've been to the States myself, to Hawaii. That's as far as I got. I never came to the mainland. So, but I've technically never been to mainland United States. But this mate of mine came back and he said, whenever you go to America, make sure that you go to Compton, LA. And I said, all right, fine. He says, it's a fantastic. I didn't really, he was playing a joke on me.
Oh, no. You don't want to go there.
I found out later, and he was sort of smirking and laughing. And there you are. What I'm trying to say, there's a big problem of the underclass. And then you get the white trash, as they call trailer park, and you get the ghettos, which are, Marx will call them lumpen proletariat. In other words, they're not proletariat workers, they're below par. And every society, every country's got that lower class. It's not trying to be laughing or smearing at them or making jokes out of them. It's an unfortunate situation. But they are being stirred up, agitated by the elites to think about irrelevant, trivial issues like the race and so forth, instead of thinking and questioning and asking pertinent questions in terms of politics.
Oh, 100%. Well, they're just like, well, it's easier to say, hey, why don't you guys fight each other and don't look over here at us taking all your stuff.
Like, nothing to see here. But look at the way America got out of Afghanistan. It's travesty. So I couldn't believe.
Bro, they literally left. I've seen 5-year-olds leave less of a mess behind. They literally dropped all the toys and walked out. Like,
$1 billion worth of armor, helicopters, tanks, machine guns, God knows what, rockets. Just left it behind. And guess where you turned around? You got out of Syria, and guess where you got in? Ukraine. What the F are you doing there? What is America going to do? Well, the only thing I can think of is selling arms to the Ukrainians to fight because the military-industrial complex has got an interest.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. So
I mean,
then you've got to ask yourself, who owns military-industrial? Who's got shares in military-industrial complex? I know Mr. Cheney has a huge amount, and the Bush's family have an incredible stake in various what do they call aeroplanes, whatever you produce there, and you want them produced and destroyed at the same time.
Yeah,
if you're making cars, you're not selling cars, mate. You're not making money. So that is that awful situation which is affecting the whole world, the first world, America in particular. And you're down on a decline, and so are we, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, there's a definitive wealth transfer that's happening, and
China is the big boogeyman.
Well, I mean, I was kind of more talking about the wealth transfer from the analog to the digital age of things. Like you've got the whole Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency space, like that is going to be a wealth transfer as well. But I mean, it's just the world is, once our money started becoming volatile, the rest of the world felt that. Like when we're facing inflation over here, and they keep saying that it's in like the single digits and it's like 5%. It's actually 25 to 50%, depending on what food you eat. Literally. Like we're paying 25 to 50% more. And so like when we have a fluctuation where the American citizens know that like stuff is noticeably more expensive. Like I remember when COVID first started, the pint of ice cream that I used to buy from the gas station between the beginning of the summer and the end of the summer doubled. It was $4. Now it's $8. That's double the price. Like if you were paying like, $4 or $5 and then you're paying $8, that is not 5% increase. That is not a 5% increase. Like I don't know if my math has changed, but that's not 5%. And when that stuff happens to us, the ripple to the rest of the world, that equates to like hundreds, thousands of percent increase.
But I don't know whether you're aware, there's a sort of a Cold War going on now, where the fight is. See, the whole world economy since '45 has been based not on British pounds but on American dollars.
Yep,
that's the currency. What's happening now, as I see it, it's the Chinese yuan, and they want to take over.
You think China is trustworthy when we know that they have two banking systems? They have a shadow banking system that everybody knows about that they pretend doesn't exist. They're not trustworthy as a world reserve.
But they want to take over. They want to convince, particularly African countries,
100%
to trade in their monies, not American dollars. And this is where you get all the Western world as we know it is going to be hit. Big time. I'm sorry to keep you. I know it's early in the time. It's 7:15 here in the afternoon, Friday evening here in Sydney. But I think
it's still Friday there.
Yeah.
Oh, Friday. It's Friday evening. Like you're ending Friday. You're
Friday. 7:15 p.m. It's winter. And
what?
Winter. You're going into summer. We're going into winter.
Oh wow, that's crazy. That's so crazy.
Right. Yeah.
That's so crazy to even think about.
26th of May, there you go. And I know. How long you been streaming for? Quite a while, or what?
Well, this one specifically is a part 2 of the last one, which was 6 hours, and this one is I just hit 4 hours.
Oh God, I better let you go. Sorry.
No, Jim, you need to come back though. I really enjoy talking to you too. You're like definitely
knows me. Andre knows me, so. And so, what's the other one? The Muslim guy,
Muslim guy, no, definitely. Yeah. I understand why they rock with you. You're good to talk to.
Oh no, I support them occasionally. I get a few dollars. All right, so young boys and they need.
Oh, absolutely. We got to, because the issue is the mess that we've made has fallen onto their shoulders. So like whenever you see like I believe in promoting, and you promote what you want to see in the world. And I talk a big talk about how I believe that men should navigate, and they are men of action. I see them wanting to pick up that mantle, and I'll be damned if I let somebody cut them off at the knees before they get a chance to see if they can walk. I'm like, let them try. Whatever they want to do, let them try. That's the way that I feel about it, because I'm like, well, you're not out in the streets fixing this shit, and it's their problem now. Now it's their problem. Like, I mean, the mess is made. You don't get to make a mess, let it sit in the room, and then when somebody starts cleaning it up, go in there and critique them on which towels they're using. Like, you didn't clean the mess up.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Like these guys wouldn't be feeling the need to do what they need to do if the mess wasn't there already and getting worse. So now we got to start letting the next guard come in here and be like, cool, what do you think needs to be done? And then, you know, pour into them as much as we can and see what they want to do.
I'm just looking at just last point before I let you go. I was sort of looking at the Russian and Chinese military ads compared to the American military ads. I was laughing.
What
LGBTQ and you know, join the American army or whatever.
Yeah.
It is just
stupid.
pathetic.
Well, you know what's funny? What's funny? Oh my God, Jim! You know what's funny about what you just said? Because when China decided that they were about ready to go to war, the first thing that they did was they were like, we're taking all pictures and imagery and videos and shows about feminized men off TV, period. Like, y'all gonna have to man up real quick. We got work to do. And we went, hey, you want to come over here and Yas Queen with us? We're going to war. Like, Christmas.
All right, nice talking to you, mate. Look,
definitely, Jim. I appreciate it, brother. Definitely. Anytime, man. I'm hoping to catch you. You got to come catch. I go live every Thursday, so like I'm not one of these people that's like on here all the time. My show specifically is Thursday evenings. So
that's right. Well, that's my Friday evening. So I'll keep you in mind.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Right. Good on
Thank you so much, Jim.
All the best, and good luck. All right.
Same to you, brother. Same to you. Thank you.
See you later. Bye.
See you later, Jim.
Bye.
All right, everybody. We had a wild night. Shout outs to Mr. Youngblood City. He's still rocking with me. Rich, the beer guzzler. Good Lord. Cyber toxins. Bro, we're definitely going to need to mine out your stuff. Natasha Vincent was in the building early. Casey Moe came through and trolled the whole panel by making me have to start a restream that went for 4 additional hours. Like, I'm going to have to go, instead of going and getting a snack and going to bed, I'm going to have to go get breakfast. This is going to be interesting. B-Rad, shout outs. I hope you do consider changing your name to Radical Bradlom. I think that would be a good, hilarious name to have. Murda 100, homeboy hung out, kept it strong, showed up, showed out. Lawrence Ritano, shout outs to you. Georgia Swan was in the building earlier on the original stream. Reese from Philly was up on the panel. Angry Snowman always rolling through. Uncle Charles, thank you so much for the donation. That was dope. These Thursdays, I'm really happy I'm on vacation, because like if I had to go to sleep for an hour and then get up and go to work, I would be upset. But dude, thank you guys so much for rocking out with me. I got the best chat in the world. I got my first comment over on Rumble. Shout out to the Rumble family. It was Himothy the First, and he said, hello, my brother. I've only been here for 5 minutes, and you've been stating nothing but facts. We are all being distracted, and people don't realize. Now, the next week's live stream, I will have my setup ready so that I can catch the Rumble comments as they come in. Granted, I only got one, but I definitely appreciate everyone who's over here rocking out with me on Rumble. I've been noticing. I'm making points. We might get some Rumble exclusive game nights because of stuff that we can't put on Twitch or YouTube. But, I appreciate you guys, and I got my first Rumble comment, and that makes me feel kind of good. So with that said, it's your boy Reckless Ray De Niro, and we're going to give the sign out that is the standard sign out for the Guns and Butter show. And it's because most of my regulars, actually I'm going to say all my regulars, I consider y'all family. And, you know, it's really nice to have a community the way that we have it. So without further ado, let's have ourselves a toast. Say what's up to Sammy Adams. Toast to family.
Toast. Toast. Money will come and go. We know that. But the most important thing in life will always be the people in this room. Right here. Right now. Salute, mi familia. Salute.